Comics Wellspring.
And yeah, this was printed with Comics Wellspring. Came out beautiful.
High quality stuff. People think it's fantastic. All the books that you see at my table are through Comics Wellspring.
Harry Gerostergios, artist, designer, co-host of Indie Comics Relay, searching for a way to stay awake during the show when an accidental overdose of indie comic book knowledge interacts with his uniquely tangential brain. And now, when Harry grows distracted or bored, startling metamorphosis occurs. He can't help but talk about the Incredible Hulk TV show.
Harry somehow brings up the Incredible Hulk TV show almost every stream that we have.
I love that show.
Nowhere sometimes.
For the same reason why I love Frankenstein, because, Hulk didn't ask to be made. This guy, he was in a lab accident, and I feel bad for him. People are trying to kill him. Whatever. Seriously, though, if you think about it, how does an adult man get beat up twice an hour every week? Really, I haven't. When's the last time you guys got beaten up?
Previously on the mighty Mascots.
The fearless robot Boom found himself in dire straits after a bullet struck him during a fierce battle with Lana Lennon in issue 6. The impact compromised his targeting system, throwing his precision and control into disarray. Suddenly, a new threat emerged. With no time to waste, Boom makes the decision to have the bullet removed and take his chances with the glitch in his personality matrix. Boom's transformation has set the stage for an epic new chapter, and the story continues in Mighty Mascots issue 10. Issue 10 is a triple-sized anniversary extravaganza, featuring all new content by the same great creative team you know and love. Dive into a thrilling news story and enjoy 2 exciting backup tales by DC Miller and the Ogle brothers. Choose from 2 stunning alternate covers that capture the essence of this landmark issue, with artwork by Gazbot and Angry Dad Comics. Plus, we've got incredible new perks, including exclusive 3D printed Breakfast Brawler figures. There are 8 figures available in 4 sets. Buy them all to receive a bonus glow in the Dark Mondo figure. And that's not all. Catch up on back issues, grab limited collectibles, and immerse yourself in the Mighty Mascots universe like never before. Support the Mighty Mascots issue 10 on Indiegogo and be a part of this groundbreaking journey.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Relay. I'm your host, Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots and promoter for the Plastic City Comic-Con. With me, as always, Johnny C., creator of Sartana, Surrounded by Death, and The Pond. For who, Johnny?
My good cousin, Roger Morocco. Hopefully he's out there watching.
Absolutely. And our third co-host, Harry G., graphic artist extraordinaire. Fellas, what is going on? What is going on this week?
Hey.
What's up?
What's that?
Not too much.
Not too much? That's good.
Am I okay?
I know
am I audible?
You sound great, Harry.
Yeah, you sound good, Harry.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, kid.
All right. Tonight I won't.
I've been kind of prepping all day for con seasons literally starting in a week for me. I mean, not this coming week, but the next week I'll be at the me and Johnny will be at the Indie
We'll be at IC3.
Yeah, so that's going to be awesome. I can't wait. There's going to be a lot of people there that we know, Johnny. I was looking over the guest list. People that have been on the show, people, that we just know from our, convention.
From our travels and things.
Yeah, I can't wait for that show, man. It's going to be awesome, I think. So
for sure. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm like literally the first table when you walk in. So I'm the first guy you see when you go to the venue.
Johnny, you got to
crazy.
set the tone for the whole show right there. You're like,
I don't have to do
opening
anything. I just gotta be
act on it.
myself.
Yeah, right.
I just gotta be myself.
You got to warm up the crowd, as they say in the
Oh,
comedy
great! Not like the pressure's on or nothing.
Right.
They should pay him then.
No, but I honestly, dude, out of all the shows that are going to happen this year, this one, for some reason, I'm the most excited for. And I think it's because it's a show that just caters to the indie comic crowd. And I think that's why I'm really excited. I'm more excited for this show than I am for my show. You
know what it is? It's by comic creators for comic creators.
That's what I like about it. That, you know, I feel like Matt, who was on the show like a couple months ago, is like me in a lot of ways as far as crafting a good Comic-Con. Like I feel like this guy's not in it for the cash grab. You know, he's not in it for, you know, he's in it to put on a good show. And like you can tell he cares about the community. So looking forward to seeing him.
Second. Yeah, for sure. I can see that here.
Are you still planning?
Are you going
to go up, Harry?
Is it one day?
It's a one day.
It's a one day thing, right?
It's in New Haven, Connecticut.
How far of a ride is that, Johnny? Did you map it out? I didn't even look.
I'm looking at over an hour and a half.
Oh, so maybe maybe it's about the same then for us.
It could be.
I don't know. It's what?
It's far.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hike. I'm still debating whether I should see if there's a hotel close by just so I can come in on Friday night.
The other thing you can think of is you don't necessarily have to get a hotel in New Haven.
Yeah,
like something that's like a 10-minute drive out, because you're in the great predicament, Keith, where you don't drink. So even if you did hang out later, you know, like you just had a few Pepsis, whatever, like it won't affect you, and you could drive later to whatever location, you know, 10, 15 minutes out. At least you're not driving a long distance. Right. You know what I mean? And because New Haven's a college town, there's got to be a lot of like motels, hotels, things within the vicinity for people, like when kids come into school, kids leave school, you know, moving people in, parents that need to stay locally, that kind of thing. So I'm confident you'll be able to find a
maybe one of the kids in the dorm is doing his selling his dorm room as an Airbnb.
It's a night.
Maybe I can look.
You could just trade him passes for the show.
Yeah, right. Well, the other great thing about that show is look at the admission is really reasonable. It's $8, and like I think it's even cheaper if you're a student there.
Oh, awesome!
So yeah, I mean he's doing everything right. In a lot of ways it's like my show, except I think the big difference is he's just indie guys. There's nothing, you know what I mean? There's nothing but creators there, which I kind of like.
There's no
right, exactly.
Yeah, there's no bigger. Like,
Harry, do you think you might make the trip down or no?
I don't know. It's like, I got a million things. This is like a busy week. I'm getting my taxes done.
It's
doing
tough,
like
man.
It's just like so many things going on again, per usual. Every week, it's like again, like surviving. You know?
Yeah, of course, man, of course.
No pressure, Harry. No pressure.
I just did my taxes. Speaking of that, last week.
Oh, did you?
I did okay though. I got a nice return coming. I couldn't believe it. You know,
that's cool.
But I'm like Johnny. I'm very, you know, militant about getting all of my receipts in. And I show up with an itemized list to hand the guy basically with all the totals. And I do it once a month. I sit down and I do it. It's an indie tip out there for any creators to stay on top of all your tax stuff, you know? So at the end of the year, you're not looking at your account going, wait, what was this for again? And, you know, and you're trying to figure it out 9 months after the fact, you know?
Yeah.
So like how long does that take to do with all those receipts and everything?
Me? I do it once a month. So it's manageable. If I didn't do it once a month, it'd be a nightmare. You know?
Right,
so.
yeah.
Maybe we should do a show on that sometime. Like
my only concern there is that we are not tax professionals. So we don't want to offer the wrong advice.
That's true.
Because for example, if I'm doing something wrong and I don't know about it and the IRS hasn't caught up to me yet, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to red flare them.
That's
But to
not a
that
bad
point,
idea.
I like, you know,
give out the wrong advice.
well, and so that's the difference here also, Keith, is that it sounds like you bring your, you know, your business to people to do it. You have a CPA or something, right?
Yeah, we got an accountant.
I go through TurboTax, so I do everything
okay.
on my own. So like tax
feel
season for
most
me is
people
a
do
good
the
2 to 3 week
TurboTax.
endeavor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. What was I going to say before we bring in the guest? Shoot, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say, like, I don't do TurboTax because we do the accountant, but I feel like most creators do use TurboTax, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
One thing I wanted to mention too, like I'm thinking about having another writers roundtable soon, Johnny.
Oh, cool.
And maybe in the last segment of the show, we could shoot some ideas back and forth on what some of the questions or what kind of the subjects we could do. But I definitely want to schedule something. Love to have Nandor, George, and Tony back, I guess, for like another session, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And even to that point, we could poll the audience for maybe what they'd like to see in an additional episode of
I think
Writers
since we just had the Academy Awards, we should do an award show like for our favorite comics of the year.
Actually,
you know what I mean?
That's
You know
not
what I
a
mean?
bad idea.
It's not a
Harry.
bad idea.
Right?
Yeah, let's
That's
think
not a
about
bad
that.
idea.
But let's
like
table
favorite
that
guest,
right
maybe,
now.
or standout guest. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like highest honor, best sound design for comics, like sound effect design.
Exactly right.
That might could be fun, you know.
Best dressed for an episode, because I mean, right off the bat, one of our guests tonight was dressed up the last time they were on the show.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So, you know, and then also I believe it's Brandon from Dismay Comics. He comes in dressed up sometimes
That's
too.
right.
So,
Yeah,
right.
no, we could have the best dressed of Indie Comics Relay. That's a category right there.
That's
like
not bad. Yeah, let's think about that one. Let's throw some ideas.
You can
at the
mail
end of
out
the show.
awards to people, so that when they come back on the show, they have their award.
We're gonna think about what to call the award too, like the
it
like
creates
fake,
prestige.
Yeah, right.
I think this should be called the Harry.
And the ICR goes to. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, Harry goes.
But you know, the Academy Awards are known as the Oscars, so we'll just call them the Harrys.
Yeah,
A little
Harry's
statuettes of Harry, little golden
moments
Harry
from the
statuettes
show.
with your hairstyle. It'd be awesome.
Cool. I like it. We'll discuss more on that at the
I like
end.
it.
Yeah, we got a tight show tonight. We got 3 guests tonight, and with the format of the new show, we're going to be doing like each guest separately. So everyone gets like a half hour as we go through the show, and at the end of the show, me, Johnny, and Harry will probably throw some more ideas around for this like upcoming. Either we'll do a round table or the awards thing, or both. Maybe we could schedule both.
Yeah,
That could be kind of fun, you know. So just to break up, you know, the format a little bit, you know. Have some different stuff
something
on the
new,
show.
a little different.
Yeah. So, but without further ado, I want to bring in tonight's first guest. I don't know if did you guys have a chance to look at this campaign from Sean?
I
Wood?
unfortunately did not have an opportunity to
We'll bring it up when
he's
in the when he's in the show. But
yeah,
it's
great
creator
really
that we
actually.
haven't had on the show. What's that?
No, it looks really good. And I think Johnny will have something in common with him because his comic is about zombies as well. An apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic type, you know, story. So it's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm glad Harry's the informed one here, and I'm the one that needs to be taught.
Oh yeah.
So this is going to be great. We'll cover
All right,
both
so
bases.
without further ado, let's bring in Sean Wood, who is our first guest tonight. Sean, welcome to Indie Comics Relay. How's it going?
It's good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
hey,
man.
Sean. How's it going? Man?
Thanks for
Sean,
reaching out and, you know, asking to be a part of the show. The campaign looks awesome. I had a chance to sit down with, you know, all the guest campaigns earlier today and just look through everything. And yeah, yours looks great, man. I love the concept, you know, robot and zombies and
can't go wrong with that.
You can't go wrong. First question we always ask our guests, especially first timer guests, we're always interested in the origin of a creator. And we always love to find out what that connection between the first comic you read or the first cartoon or TV show that sparked the interest in your brain to want to become a comic creator. Can you point to anything in your past that blew up your mind and was like, I got to be part of this industry?
Oh yeah. Well, for the longest time, I'm in my 30s. For the longest time, I didn't think it was a possibility. So before
Okay.
I learned more about Kickstarter and everything, I never even thought of it as an idea. I work retail for a living. I'm a branch manager, and I just work the grind, and just it's not what my passion is, but that's just where I saw money was, and for family and all that kind of stuff. But
so you looked at it like it was a hot, like if you were trying to become like an actor or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something that you cannot achieve. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I've always been an avid reader. My dad, he actually started collecting in the 60s, and he had everything you can think of, a Marvel, DC, when Image came out and everything. And he stopped collecting around mid 90s, but early 90s and before that, I had everything at my disposal at any point. He named me, my middle name is Logan because of Wolverine. So I was kind of like at birth, like I had to be a nerd. I had to be this geek guy. I didn't have a choice. So that was always fun growing up, and I've always collected as an adult. I've been down the street from this comic book shop for 15 years. I've been there every Wednesday, that kind of thing. Nice. And one day, the way I started was I was reading The Walking Dead Deluxe because it came out in color. So I started collecting it because I didn't collect it originally, of course, back when it first started. So I started doing that, and I didn't realize, but at the back, Robert Kirkman had his outline, and it was just a simple, like, he wanted one sentence per page of what he wanted to relay for that issue. And I was like, oh crap, it's that easy to start. So why not, try that myself? That's simple enough. And I started with Scott Snyder's writing class with Best Jacket Press.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. And for a while, for the first year that I did it, I was actually meeting with Scott Snyder once a month for 5 minutes a month and going over scripts and all that kind of stuff. And he was really cool about everything. He's real down to earth, which is really what you want to see in your heroes, of course.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did he so he sat with you for 5 minutes and he would read your script and actually give you feedback on it?
Yeah, so like sometimes it was just scripts, sometimes it was going over like pitching to publishers and things like that. And just every month, once a month, talking to him about anything we could think of. If I didn't have a new script, to go over what we talked about last time and how to improve the story and everything like that.
Oh, very cool. Like we've had some of his students come on the show that do an anthology out of his class called I forget what it was called. It's like something Best Jacket or something anthology.
Yeah, so Best Jacket Press is his company.
Okay. It's like Tales from the Cloakroom. I just remembered it.
Yeah, Cloakroom. That's what it was.
And they've done a bunch of them so far. It was like a once a year thing. Now it's a once a quarter. I haven't been a part of that one yet. I just did my own thing in the class. Yeah. And I'm actually starting to get into anthologies now. But so that's how I started with the idea of wanting to do this.
So it was Robert Kirkman in a walk. That's awesome. Yeah, like I feel like that's why they put all that back matter sometimes in the comic. And it does inspire you a lot. I remember there was one of the hardcovers of that comic Runaway from Marvel, The Runaways, what Brian K. Vaughan did. And in the back, he had put like his pitch to Marvel, like how he pitched Runaways to Marvel.
Nice.
And I was like, oh man, this is awesome. Because you always hear about a pitch, but you never know how to write one.
Yeah.
And so like he basically laid out the template for a pitch. And I was like, this is great. So so stuff like that, like is really, really helpful, especially when you're beginning, So
And just
that's great.
Seeing all behind the scenes, very inspirational too, just in general. Even if you don't want to write, still seeing it just, fills you up with joy.
Prior to the Kirkman stuff, were you a writer when you were younger?
I've always loved, reading comics. I've always loved stories, making up my own thing. Just like with my son, we did like our own like Thanos comic, together and do like panel by panel on how to draw it and stuff like that. But never really pursued anything. Never really tried to do like a full script or anything like that. But they just gave me the inspiration. Plus, it was around COVID time at work. I was going through like a remodel, and like my brain basically broke. And so like I had to do something to get out of this, you know.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm back in the
so-
retail force, and
Yeah.
I've been at back end for a year, and I'm just like, I'm starting to feel it. And I'm only working part time too.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of funny. That's what retail does to you, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 16
So
years.
I feel your pain, man.
Yeah. But yeah, where I got the idea originally, so I already started the class, and I didn't have an idea yet. I'm a runner as well. That's what all those medals behind me are.
I was going to ask what that was. I go, first and foremost, respectable collection on the shelf.
Yeah, that's great.
Like, you got some really awesome, like, and that looks like a Gladiator Hulk hot toy, or no, Sideshow.
Well, I wish. No, it's actually Diamond Select. So it's
okay, right
the
on.
cheaper version, but it's nice and big and detailed still.
Yeah, it looks good though. It looks good, man. Respect. But yeah, I also noticed the medals. Really awesome that you have that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
do you still run though? Do you still run?
Yeah. Well, less now because I'm writing more than I'm running. But
Okay.
That was my one thing was I was running like 4 times a week, doing 5 to 10 miles depending on what I was training for. But one day when I was running through some fog in the morning, and your mind just wanders after a while. And I just had the random thought, what if I was on the other side of this fog, ended up somewhere else, where would that be? And that made my first comic. So I've done The Fog Within 1 through 3 so far on Kickstarter in the last 2 years. And then it built my entire world around that whole idea. And now I have this one shot, Recon, the little one. So
yeah, no, I'm gonna bring up the Kickstarter here shortly, just so we can show it off to the audience here. Where did this idea come from? Like, I see on the, just from the image on the video, there's like a robot punching a zombie, and then there's a little girl there, and give us like the idea, or like where it came from.
Yeah, so the idea came from I was in the 3rd campaign of The Fog Within back in September. And I was talking to a creator friend, and he's like, you need to build your audience. You need not like a one shot or a new story. And it just started from there. I didn't have any idea of wanting to do anything else at that time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, in Scott's class, he always talks about the best stories come from fears. So put your fear into it and then build a story around that. So I was thinking, my daughter, she's 4. And she's growing up in this crazy world that we're living in now more than it was in September. Yeah. And I, as a father, I want to protect her. And my son, he's 10, and he also wants to, protect her. And he has this quirky type of attitude. And I just mixed all that together and put me and my son as the robot. And my daughter is this last girl on Earth, and it ended up being with zombies. So put zombies in this world. That's how I came up with the story.
Yeah,
I love that concept.
Yeah, it's great. I have heard that idea too from Scott Snyder, because I've watched a couple of his free classes.
Yeah, and
that idea about taking fear and like making your story like somehow tapped into that, like and I see guys that came up with him, like James Tinian. You can see that in all his work. Like it's insane. Like, and I definitely want to tap into that at some point myself and see what I can come up with,
right.
And see what manifests on the comic page. But yeah, no, I really, and of course, Dave Schwartz is your artist, which Johnny, I don't know if you remember Dave Schwartz. He was on our show maybe 2 years ago with the Confederate Monster.
Yes, I backed that book. That was a great book.
It was great. And Dave's an awesome guy. So Dave is the artist on this book as well.
Gotcha.
So of course the visuals are amazing.
Yeah. The thing with Dave, what I wanted to do with the artist, because I've dealt with a different artist from my other book, but I wanted someone that would be digital for one, but also I needed to have someone that would bring emotion to a metallic robot that doesn't have any.
Yeah, you couldn't.
That was my biggest thing.
Guy.
Yeah, and I thought he was perfect for it.
Well, speaking of emotion, like Keith, you'd love the lettering because it's pretty emotional. The lettering is very part of the art. It's amazing.
The lettering does look pretty awesome, and you've smashed your goal already with 17 more days to go. So congratulations there.
Thank you. It's our best ones yet.
Yeah, hell's yeah.
And was your
like
your
the,
previous 3 Kickstarters successful as well, Sean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
So each one I've built a little bit more of an audience. I think my first
Congrats,
one
man.
I funded like 5 minutes before it was over, which was nerve.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, that was always fun. But it's slowly gotten better. I was like 80 or so backers in the first one, about 100 backers on the second one, and the third one I actually just hit the same amount, 119 backers for my third one. So this is my best one backer wise, and then we'll get there with the funding
Awesome
too.
job, man. That's the way to do it, though. Like, you know, like you keep rolling with these campaigns, and each one starts to get better and better as you build your audience and stuff. But yeah, no, this looks great. I looked through this campaign earlier today, and I mean, these cover. Look at that cover by Dave.
Ah, it's beautiful.
So great, man.
Yeah,
so that's why I was wondering why he didn't continue Confederate Monster, and I know why. He's been working on other projects. That's great.
Yeah, and he actually just a shout out for him too. He goes live tomorrow with number 5. So
that's right. I saw that. I saw that he was coming back with it, which is great.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot of stuff. Are great. Yeah,
and this is my second favorite cover right here.
Yeah,
I like that one too. I like the. I like the juxtaposition of the the girl. She's like colorful and pink and whatever. And then there's a decay in the background, like the opposite. It's like dark and decay and death.
Yeah, the composition's amazing on this.
Yeah, it's really good.
The eye goes right to the girl.
Yeah,
awesome.
And with that one, it's self-explanatory of the whole story. You don't have to say anything. You look at that cover.
Oh, absolutely. It's a perfect cover. Like you get everything you need from it. Yeah. Even the one Dave did too. All of them actually have a great sense of design, and also you do get what the story is about just by looking at it, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this looks so good. Go ahead.
So the little girl, I know. I saw you in a previous on a different podcast.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh, he froze.
He froze up.
Well, so I'm gonna while he comes.
Has that rabbit that she carries around?
Actually, that rabbit is the third main character of the story. So that's actually my daughter's bunny, and I sent him a picture, Dave, and told him I want this in the book, just a little more scruffed up and messed up, like it's in a the dystopian type future. Nice. But yeah, so it's definitely the third character in the story, and there is emotionality to it later in the book too. So
is there also kind of a connection to The Walking Dead too? Because in the very first episode of The Walking Dead, that little girl, that zombie that Rick Grimes meets, is holding a bunny.
Actually, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, no, you're right.
It's kind of connected on. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
right. I see what you're saying too, Harry, about the lettering. The lettering's excellent. Who is your letter?
Lettering's got a lot of emotion. They like Splort.
Yeah. That one's awesome.
Yeah.
Blood.
You Splort.
I like this.
That's
too.
great.
This looks great.
So that's Justin from Letter Squids. He's been doing a lot of stuff, and I've used him for all my books so far, and
he's great.
I can't go wrong with him. So of course they always say with letterers, you don't want them to stand out. That's how you know it's a good letterer. But with his stuff, it stands out in the best sense possible, I think.
Well, the best letterers just seamlessly go with the book, and even though I don't think it overpowers anything. He doesn't overpower anything. Yeah. It's more just he adds to it, and this especially, I love this.
Yeah,
part
I love the
blood.
Yeah,
like that looks like he might have drawn that in.
Yeah, so that was actually
that looks good.
So when we first did that, there was no blood. He was being scraped against the wall, but it was a different composition, and all that's left is rust. That's the title of the story of this particular book. And that wasn't there. And I just read, I think it was the Rockefellers. What was that?
From Ghost Machine.
Yeah. And of course the first page was, they had it in the background. It was like the snow or the mountains was the title of the book.
Oh, I love that. That's like it's a Will Eisner thing from way back in the Spirit days, where you used to build the titles right into the buildings.
And that's always so cool. So I just wanted that.
Isn't it? I love that.
So.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like, his lettering does not overpower at all. It's great. Yeah, this is really Sean. This looks great. I gotta admit,
Thanks.
I think it's a great looking book,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're already
any book with a robot punching zombies and punching their heads off. Hey, okay, in my book.
Yeah,
Right.
I love that.
Exactly.
I fucking love
Can't
it.
go wrong with that.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
not at all.
I saw you got a statue too. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
actually, I
You have
actually
it
have
there.
the first
It's
one.
pretty cool.
I don't know if you
You have
want
it right there. Hold on. Let me bring it.
Oh, that
Pretty
is amazing.
Oh wow, look at that. Hold it
It's
up closer.
handmade.
If you can hold it
Yeah.
up closer to the camera, that's
So let's
great.
see. There you go.
So how limited is that in the campaign there?
So it's handmade. It's clay, and he said he would do up to 5 more of these. So I have
wow.
the first one. The ears are actually plastic, so it's not part of this, but he still cut it out and put it into
And
it.
put it in there.
And
That's
there's actually
cool.
like I don't know how he did it, but there's the wire. Well, here we go. There's wiring right here, just like in the book, and it's
Cool.
stiff and it's formed into the clay statue. He actually does
Wow.
some work for Disney, like
No
licensed.
kidding.
Wow.
He's done some like DuckTales stuff, but everything about it, front to back, is exactly.
Amazing.
It looks like the old school sideshow busts, like the
Yeah.
tiny
Yeah, it
bust.
looks like
Yeah.
remember when Randy Bowen used to do all those mini busts for
Oh yeah, Bowen
Marvel?
Designs. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Busts, Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And also the A Anarchy A is a little hidden message too, right? It's a little
Yep.
Easter egg.
Yeah, so at first, me and Dave were talking about it. We wanted to add the A because my son's Ashton, so that was the main reason at first. But then we added to the story. It actually builds, and it's a little thing at the end of the book that the reason why things have happened, because basically the idea is the first page. It goes into explaining what's happened in the past. Food is scarce. Scientists over bioengineer food that's left, and it ends up becoming an infection, which makes the zombies. And these zombies, they're not trying to eat brains or eat people or anything. They're actually trying to infect you with this virus, and it's basically Mother Nature fighting back against the scientists, and Mother Nature always wins. So at this point, the zombies are overpowering the humans. They can't fight back. So they build these bots to fight their war in their place. And eventually all the humans die off and the robots don't have any reason to do anything anymore. So he's just rusting away at the beginning. And he was built to save humans. And all of a sudden he hears this girl scream, which isn't supposed to be there. And he jumps into action and he decides to protect her. So that's the whole idea behind the book. So
No,
And
are there,
I'm sorry,
are
how
there
many
good
issues
and
did you
bad?
say? Sorry, Harry.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good.
Say, how many issues are you playing on this? I don't know
So-
if you mentioned it.
Yeah, so this is actually at the moment is a one shot, but it's a one shot universe. So this is doing well. I've already planned 3 more one shots, so it'll be different time periods with different characters. Some will be the same main characters, but there will be other people added. One will be of the war that happened that we didn't see in this issue, and one will be a couple of years after what happens in this issue. And then
cool.
if everything goes well, then I'm going to do a finale that'll culminate all 3 one shots into one big, like everything that you've seen so far, and build it as one big thing. So
And that's going to be an
That's great.
awesome collected edition when that's
Yeah.
finally done, man.
Yeah,
Can't wait,
that's
can't
true.
wait for that. That's going to be
yeah,
dope.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Some great comments coming in. First of all, it was Blue Streak says, "Holy shit, it's
Oh.
Johnny C."
My good friend Dave Mataluno. Hey, Dave, what's up, man?
Oh, that's awesome. And he also said, "Splort is a great word, not used enough outside
Yep.
of P-Hub."
Truth.
I have heard that a
And-
lot actually.
My wife said, "Great statue,"
Nice.
which I
Thank you.
gotta agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And DS joining us. Hello, those are some cool robot designs. I gotta admit, it is true. A lot of great stuff in this, and it's a great Dave Schwartz. Did Dave design everything for
Yeah.
the issue?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what he
Yep.
was going for, I showed him like different parts of different robots that I like, over the years, whether in comics or in movies and whatever. And he was going with all of that, but then also kind of building him as like a linebacker at the same
Nice.
time. So that's where we came up with the idea. So
It
Did you
makes it
fi-
look dynamic
Yeah.
with that linebacker. You can do a lot of really just cool visuals with that.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
and he's
Now,
got
did
different.
you know
features.
Dave?
Speaking of
before this
linebackers-
project? Or sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Harry,
no,
what
go
were
ahead,
you
Keith.
saying?
Give him more. No, it's a dumb.
No, I was going to ask
aside.
if
I
you
can
knew
go to it
Dave
later.
before this project, Sean.
So I've seen him in the past. So I backed a book that he did called Hospice. It was one of the hospice books.
That's right.
And
With
so
Russell Nolte.
Yep, yeah, he was one of them. Travis Gibb, and Travis Gibb was the one that did the one with Dave. So I loved his art.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He's done a bunch of other things too. So he does his own book, like we talked about Confederate Monsters, but he is all over the place. I mean, he colors it, he draws it, and everything himself. So he's doing stuff for other people all the time.
Yeah,
so.
that's great. I mean, he should. He's such a great artist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His other series too, Feast or Famine, was excellent. I don't know if you ever had a chance to read that. It was like science.
Yeah, I haven't read that one.
Science Gone Bad. Yeah, if you get a chance to read that one, that was really good as well. But yeah, no, this looks great. Let me snag the link, share it out to the chat here so everyone can check it out.
Yep.
So and help. They are over their goal, but let's not stop there. There's stretch goals. You have some stretch goals that coming up too. Is there anything that you wanted to shout out about those? Or
so the first stretch goal is a 5x7. It's going to be a propaganda poster that's actually in the book later, like one of the last pages. There's different posters on the wall. And explaining, some of the war stuff and some things that you don't realize until that page. And one of those will be the 5x7 print that I'll be doing, and I'll also add to the digital as well at the end of the digital PDF. And then I'll be doing a better cover stock for I think $4,000.
Okay.
And a UV treatment, that kind of thing. And then the 5,000, if we get there, which I think we have a good chance of because we haven't slowed down yet. Then I'm thinking about adding like a prologue, so like 4 pages to the end of this book. Right now it's 24 pages, but if we get to 5,000, then I haven't said for sure yet, but I'm definitely leaning towards that. Doing 4 more pages.
Those are the kind of stretch goals I love. I'd rather have more comic than tchotchkes personally.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. It costs more to put more pages, so you got to make sure the goals are higher and stuff.
It's a balancing act.
Absolutely,
it really is.
Yeah.
Is there a specific perk you've been recommending to people on the campaign, or?
Yeah, so I mean, 2, really 3. Of course, the statue, because that one's just amazing, and I've sold a couple of those, either add-ons or the actual tier for it. But you could also be a zombie. So if you want to go in the book. And I kind of later in the campaign, I kind of show like an idea of what it could look like. And I've done that in the past with my other book. It was more of a rebel. And this time I don't have any people, so it had to be a zombie.
Now,
people like zombies too. So
as another Easter egg, you're also a zombie in this book, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. My son likes to point out that he punches me because he's, he feels like he is the robot himself. And you see me in my retail shirt, and then you see him punch, and he loves that page for some reason. I don't know why.
You got a lot of good perks just scrolling through. You got that's indie covers and
So that's one of the ones I like to point out too, is the indie creator advertising tier. So I've done that for other books, like on trades and stuff. And I thought this book looked good enough to people would want to put their ad in there. So that was an idea of what I did for my Fog Within. It was a full page, but that would be a half a page. And I can help create that with QR codes, stuff like that. Or if you have your own thing, as long as it's not NSFW stuff, because this book isn't that. So other than that, I'm all for whatever advertising. So
yeah, that's great. It's actually a good tier that I don't think about often that I should. That's not a bad idea to offer.
Is advertising available as an add-on?
It's actually not. That's a good idea though.
The only reason why I ask is that, me, given that I have a comic called Surrounded by Death, which is kind of like Mallrats meets The Walking Dead.
Right. Nice.
I wouldn't mind putting one of my signature zombies into your book through the Draw Me Into the Book campaign, right? And then also adding on the advertising tier to then allow for an advertisement page
Yeah.
featuring that zombie. So now you as a reader have context that little cameo you saw is a whole nother book.
You guys should cross pollinate and be in each other's book.
And to that point,
bad idea.
I could write off those expenses
Right.
as advertising for my taxes.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I get a dope ass #1 one-shot comic book.
Right.
In the process.
That's pretty ingenious. I need to
That's
pick
a win
Telling
scenario.
You, Johnny is the master of merchandising, and
I see only upside here.
Yeah, right. I love it.
He's like the band Kiss.
Yeah, right.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, like Gene Simmons of comics,
Right, exactly right.
One thing I wanted to say too, like the 160 for one of those minibus plus all three covers. That's a bargain, man. 160.
Yeah. I
feel like that would be 250 in any other campaign, So
yeah, a lot of my tiers I feel like they're a little bit lower than some, just because I'm still the new guy too. I mean,
you're newer, no, I think that's smart what you're doing.
Yeah, trying to get more.
It adds value, like in that way, But also, you make a great quality product, so that helps as well, So like, that's the one thing I always said about indie comics, like no one walks into a convention looking for our stuff. But if you hedge your bets and make the best looking comic that you can and the best comic that is out there, people will notice. People willing to try something new will notice it for sure.
And you're also planning on having metallic covers too, or foil covers that should catch people's eyes too.
Yep, and this time the metal Ready Comics is now doing embossed metal, and I thought it was a perfect time to do a robot book with the robot being embossed and the logo. So I reached out to them to make sure I could actually do it. They're talking about the different layers and everything, but it's simple enough, and it's gonna be
that's
awesome.
Cool.
So
that's cool, and that's great. Yeah, I want to get one of those chrome covers at some point, or a hollow cover at some point for mine.
Well,
that'd be great.
Not Global Comics. Comics Wellspring is offering, if you're exhibiting at IC3, a promo this month, or
really?
A promo right now for a hologram cover. So
now's
the time to buy.
Is it a percentage off, Johnny, or is it?
I think there is a discount or something to that effect. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just a shout out.
Also have
yeah. What'd you say, Harry?
Sean, you have a standee too somewhere. I think I saw that in the previous.
Yeah, I've got the.
He's got more. You got more toys. Than just the,
I've seen those. Those are really sharp looking. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing one.
Huge.
Of those
I mean, it's the size of my face, pretty much.
It's great.
I love that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Sean. You can backlight those, and it makes it look so awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. I've seen that before. It's really cool looking.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
But this looks great. We shared out the link for the campaign in the chat here. If you're watching this video tomorrow on the channel, go to the description of the video and has all the links for all the Kickstarters we're highlighting tonight. So check them out. All these guys are great creators, and they can all use your help as far as bringing their projects to life. Sean, before we let you go for the night, any other projects you got coming up that you want to shout out? Any social media that you want to share? Anything like that?
Yep. So after this one's done and I have it printed and sent to backers, which will be in May at the latest, I'll be going live with my fourth issue of The Fog Within, which is my first series, and that'll be my arc finale too. So I'll actually be able to get to a trade after this point.
Great.
So basically in June, The Fog Within #4, and that's already pre-launch out there as well. And for the socials, I'm Sean Wood _writer pretty much everywhere. Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, TikTok, sort of. Wherever I can put the book and show it off, I'm there. So
why TikTok, sort of?
Well, I mean, the only thing I don't do any lives or anything. The only thing I do live is any podcast I'm on because I'm terrible by myself. I don't know what to do with myself, honestly. So
I think you were great this episode. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
you need to come back whenever you want. Come on back, man. Just let us know.
I appreciate it. But I just do like videos of like the pages. That's about it. So that's all I do on TikTok. It's just
before
the same
you
thing.
go, like you mentioned this other book, Fog. What was it? Fog Within.
Fog Within. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. What's a quick elevator pitch for that so people can kind of look forward to that one?
Yeah, so I used to have like a two sentence thing, but I did my first con last weekend, so I changed that real quick to get people to stop at the table. It's basically a Mad Max type of universe with powers. So that's the easy, quick pitch.
Okay, I like that. And you said it was about like if you went into a fog and came out in a new world. Okay.
Yeah, so basically,
get the idea.
Yeah. So what happens is the hunter is the main character, and he's in the present. There's a cataclysmic event, and a couple of days later, he's running into some fog. Ends up 26 years in the future on the other side, and the place where the cataclysmic event happened, there's a regime in place. They put a wall in the city because there's an infection from this event. They don't know what to do with the people, so they just wall them all in and don't let them out. There's rebels that want to get out, and they know about hunters coming from this prophecy, and he's supposed to be the savior that gets them out of this walled-in city. And that's where we go from there.
Awesome, man. Well, Sean, it was great meeting you for the first time here. And like Johnny said, if you want to come back again when you have a new project, let us know. Try to let us know a couple months ahead because I think I'm literally booking for June and July right now, which is crazy. Awesome. But we're trying to do, multiple guests per show so we can, help out as much as we can. But definitely enjoyed talking to you. And like I said, the project looks amazing. So definitely come back. Any other questions for him before we let him go, guys? Or
no, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to come on and share the project. I'm really enamored by it, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you add that advertising. As an add-on.
I'll be emailing once it's there.
Yeah, you and Johnny
email because I'm telling you, man, I'll back that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you need it, just email me, Sean, or message me, and I can give you Johnny's email.
We're linked up on Blue Sky, kid.
There you go. Perfect. All right, Sean. Well, thanks so much. Have a great night, and we wish you the best of luck with the campaign.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you.
Good luck.
Bye. That was awesome. Yeah. Like I told you guys, that book looks next level.
That looks like a really cool book. I'm definitely
Dave Schwartz is an amazing artist. Like I've been meaning to hit him up for, a cover or a pinup or something at some point. I mean, he's such a great artist.
Sean looks like
bigger than mine.
Oh, yeah, right. What are you saying here, Johnny?
I was gonna say Sean looks like if I was a conspiracy theorist, I would have said that Sean's actually Orange Cassidy disguised as an indie comics creator because he looks a lot like Orange Cassidy.
You start hearing the music.
Yeah, the Jane,
freshly squeezed.
He should come out as with Jane as the music. Is this the music?
Oh yeah. Quick wrestling thing before we bring in guest number 2.
Yes,
I'm about a week behind on AEW. Just started watching Collision with Hologram. Starts off the evening with the Beast Mortos. Incredible match. And once again, Commander came out to help him. So that's gotta happen, Johnny.
That tag team has to happen.
It has to
still be unstoppable. You know what?
They'll have the belt for years if those two come together.
It's what? So back in one of the best tag team champions in AEW were the Lucha Brothers. Which is Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. Pentagon Jr. just debuted in WWE a few weeks back. And literally today, they removed Ray Phoenix from the roster page on AEW.
Oh, interesting.
So with them, probably, with the Lucha Brothers probably going to be debuting in WWE shortly, it's going to be real awesome to have this dope tag team of Hologram and Commander filling that void, that gap.
Probably the two most exciting luchadors in AEW or the entire AEW roster.
I won't discredit Rouge. Well, Rouge isn't a masked luchador, but there's Rouge, there's Mystico. There's a few other good guys out there, so I wouldn't want to count them out per se.
Yeah,
but those two are some of the best, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to say that while we're talking.
Yes, absolutely.
just jam it in there.
Sneak it in real quick.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, moving right along, our second guest is in the green room right now. Been on the show once before. If I remember right, last time he was on, didn't you guys have a big discussion about aliens or
if
like
not,
supernatural or what was it?
If not, we will this time.
I'll see
to
he
it.
might remember, so let's bring him in.
He'll bring him in.
Remembers.
So without further ado, let's bring in tonight's second guest, which is Austin Light. Austin, what is going on?
Yes, what's up, Austin?
It's
Do you remember
great.
what I'm talking about? What did we talk about last time? Was it about aliens?
I love talking about aliens and Bigfoot.
Oh my god! I think we did. I do remember now. It's coming back to me now.
I swear we had a great discussion about it. I am going to go back and watch that episode, and I'm going to download it and cut it up. And if we talked about aliens, that is going to be an ICR bit in the next next month or so. But I swear we did, because there's something usually when we have a guest on, and if we have a great discussion somewhere in the episode, I'll put a bookmark in my brain that I have to go back to that episode for something. And I don't remember what it is, but I'll have to watch the whole thing again. So I'll let you guys know.
We'll create new great memories tonight, right now.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
I can still just go on about it. I just heard more fun stuff about.
Yeah, exactly. Austin, good to see you.
Stuff.
It's been a while since you've been on the show. How's things been?
It's been good. It's everything's steadily progressing. There's a quote I live by. But it comes from this trainer that I listen to, Jeff Cavalier, and he said that his business was built 1% at a time, and everything that he accomplishes and does is just 1%. So it's like it's not a lot, but as you grow, that 1% is a bigger thing because it's a percentage, not like a point. You know what I mean? So I think it's been doing really good. And I've had so much fun just making stuff.
My wife.
I told my boss today during my review, I gave 1% each time. Hopefully it'll build up.
That sounds about my level of effort at a job, at a corporate job.
Much. I work harder,
But you know what though? In the context in which Austin's talking about, it's like celebrating the little wins. Because some creating comics, selling comics is a struggle. So when you can make that little 1% progress, and you can see 1% as progress, not just like, oh, I've only done 1%, but I've moved forward 1%. That's good stuff, right there.
That's huge. Yeah, I mean, in this thankless industry, I mean that is huge. Like, yeah. Always keep moving forward no matter what. It's like that that Rocky speech in Rocky 6, like
absolutely. My dad also said this is something similar. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. And that's how I kind of approach everything. And it's not so dramatic, like it's not that deep, but like if I can get myself motivated and keep it going, it's good. But I live such a great life and great position right now. I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but I work at a gym day job. I get to work on this stuff like on my downtime. And
nice. I was going to ask you that if you still work at that gym and they still allow you to work during, because pretty much once you let people in, you're all set pretty much, right? You just want to make sure people get checked in.
You just run the desk and stuff, right? Like as they come in.
Yep, that's my title is gym secretary. So
yeah,
that's great.
Those
are the best jobs, though. Those are the best jobs where you can work on your stuff and still get paid by somebody else.
Yeah,
like
that's why I don't have some. I could potentially get a pretty nice job, like a nicer job. But this just is so it's close. I'm close to my kids. It pays pretty decently for like the cost of living in the area, like really, really good actually. And then I get to work on this stuff. It's like kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's a win-win-win.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, and it's the next chapter of the book, or is it a webcomic, Envy? The book.
It's both.
Oh, it's both. Okay.
Yes.
And that's what you were on the show for last time, I believe, right? Was the first chapter?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you could give us the elevator pitch again. I forget what the series was about. I know it was like a demon or something, wasn't it? Or like
yes. So it's it's the King Belial of hell. This is a demon that is often like portrayed as Lucifer, is portrayed as Satan, but in the Goetia is second to Lucifer. So that's what I made her. And she's brought into our world and then has to fight Michael. They have an ancient rivalry. That's from the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's a vision of Archangel Michael having an eternal war with Belial, and I think that probably has an influence on Armageddon in the actual Bible. But they lock horns, they fight, and then she loses. She's on the verge of dying or being reincarnated, and then is made into a human in order to not be reincarnated. She made good on her, or she made a pact with her summoner Fritz, and so I've picked up on that in chapter 3. She's trying to figure out how to be a human. She's trying to navigate everything. So let's see. Okay.
Does she look human, or does she look like that still?
That's her right there, isn't it?
Well, I know, but once she's made human, is she no
Whose screen is this? Because I have mine pulled up too.
Oh, dude, this is mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Does yours have more on it or no?
No. Well, I can have like an actual Kickstarter preview. Like,
okay.
Like what
let me. Why don't we bring up yours? Let me take this off. Hang on.
That would be great. Let's get
that way you can show us the interiors, because I think all I'm seeing is the notify on launch thing. So
yeah.
I actually recall that you had a really awesome cover on the last campaign, which it kind of resembled the mythical Green Man with it was like face with leaf and fauna around it, which was just so cool.
yes. I had Adam Caswell do that variant cover. Yeah. It was awesome. I really want to hire him for more work, but I like to like get different people to do different covers.
I hear that.
So I got Jonathan McDaniel to do the variant cover for this one, but he hasn't got to it yet. So I have my cover, and as Dan Price, the
Bigfoot Nose
Karate. As he said, he likes his main covers to be what's going to be the guts of the book. So that's kind of
there's literally the guts right there.
Yeah.
Actually, I follow that. I follow that screed too, because there's nothing worse than like getting an amazing cover and then you open the book and it's not that artwork.
Yeah.
So that's smart. It's really smart to do that.
Yeah, and they're limited. So like when I get a variant cover, I want it to be like, this is exclusive. It's a little bit pricier. But yeah, this is Envy here. This is Belial. She is burdened by the flesh and humanity, and that's just kind of the approach that I took with my version of the cover.
So each page of the book is essentially one page of the webcomic. Is that how you do it?
Well, that's how I used to do it.
Okay.
I've started now to just do what feels good for an update.
Okay.
So here on my website, I have it like a so on the desktop, it's going to show each full page.
Okay.
And then on mobile phone, I have it designed to be scrolled like a webcomic, like on Webtoons.
I gotcha.
Cool.
Okay.
Do you find any challenges in formatting to both in one shot?
There are challenges. You just have to keep in mind like what you can and can't do. Like rectangles and squares just make it, pretty simple.
Right.
But then when you do like a break out of the page, you kind of have to compose it. And like if it's a really long rectangle, you have to kind of narrow the scope and like make sure that all that important stuff will fit. And sometimes I wish I could see the mobile version on here, but I could pull it up. But sometimes I have like a panel that has to be shrunk so much, but you can't read it very well. So like I'll add the dialogue in the negative space around it.
Gotcha.
To make
that,
sure
so it allows you, Webtoon allows you to adjust like that. That's pretty cool.
So that can be done with global comics too. When you upload, Keith, you can actually write annotations, exclusive to global comics.
So this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it would play better on a mobile version, essentially,
or whatever the case may be. Like, for example, if your image gets buried, you can add more in. Like in my Sartana #1 on global comics, I've added annotations that are exclusive to that.
Oh,
and that's
neat.
why it's got the global comics exclusive on the cover.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Sorry, Austin, didn't mean to step on you.
It's okay. It's so like you can see on the screen that that panel is just plain regular panel, and then on the mobile version it's like
oh yeah,
okay,
it's too small to read really. So I just put text above and below it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then you just keep scrolling to read more, just like a webtoon.
Okay, yep,
that's cool.
I gotcha. Okay, so it works with the way you would read on a phone. That's perfect. And can you pinch and zoom as well on that as well?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm aware of Webtoon. It's one of those ones I can't add another thing. It's like too much.
Is this actually on Webtoon that we're looking at right now here, Austin, or is that just presented on your website? That's on your site, right? Okay, so is it like just a PDF?
Multiple PNGs.
Oh, okay, and then you just lay them out that way. Gotcha.
Yep. I've had to change different things. I've wanted to drop Adobe, so I got Affinity and had to, it's always evolving, and you're always trying to find different ways to make this stuff. But Belial's trying to become a human and understand what that means. And in this update here, I just introduced the Phoenix, or Phoenix as she is in the Goetia. She's kind of having a little inner monologue, and then she stumbles upon this monument of a Native American cult that has sacrificed their own to Zagan, another king from hell. And so it does get kind of graphic. I maybe should have said something before.
Oh, it's a black and white. All right. You can't tell.
We're past the 10 o'clock hour.
Yeah,
right. But this update sets up like their fight. So I break on the next update. It's more about Envy, and she's met somebody. But you can see that it's updated in multiple pages. So
and it's your art style, right? You're illustrating this, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just want to comment that I love how your art style is like manga adjacent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Good point,
you're
Johnny.
not like aping or copying like a manga style. but it's close. And I love that gives it its own uniqueness.
Yeah, it's a blend.
And I do like how you did the background there on that panel where it's just like kind of like spots, kind of like a cloud. That was really well done. It looks cool.
She does look more human than Demon in this too.
Yeah, she was turned human, so she's having to learn how to be a human so that when she understands all the necessities of like telling of like truth and knowing love, and then also things like eating, like having hunger, she will become, and each time she'll get like a little bit of her powers for like, it'll be like, if you've ever watched My Hero Academia, it'll be something like All Might, where he gets his powers back temporarily, or he can hold it for so long, but then he doesn't fully have like all his powers. So it won't be until a finale that she kind of gets everything, because she has things that she needs to learn beyond what she wants to accomplish.
Gotcha.
I like how she's kind of like abnormally a little bit taller. So even like in human form, she's kind of like struggling with like, like human things. You know what I mean?
I even have Sam pointed out here.
Oh, right there. Yeah. You're really tall.
Yeah,
like
says that MV cover looks great.
Yeah.
And he also said he has heard of Affinity.
It's
cool.
Affinity is getting a little better at a time. And hopefully it won't, if it turns into a subscription, it won't be an expensive subscription. That's my hope, because it was pushing $100 a month for Adobe. So,
oh wow, holy crap!
But my friend said, "Why don't you just lie and say that you're a student forever?" And I'm like,
"Aren't we? That's
what I would do.
You're like, I'm a student to the world.
We pretty much are
always learning,
right?"
It doesn't look like you're doing anything crazy in there. You could buy like an old CS3 where you don't have to pay that subscription. That's what I use. I have an old CS3 and it works fine for all the lettering I need to do and stuff. So,
well,
something to think about if you want to save that money,
Yeah, I use Clip Studio Paint for everything, just about. And then it's like, there's just a few things that I needed Adobe for. I needed Adobe to like do vector logo stuff, and then I needed Adobe to do the splicing and cutting up the comic to make it vertical scroll. I had to learn how to do that in the publishing version of Affinity. So it wasn't like I needed Adobe for a whole lot. It wasn't worth what I was paying.
I gotcha.
But
could you like cut up the panels within Photoshop or something and then do
Photoshop was much more versatile, and like you can still do it in Clip Studio Paint. You could do it, but it's in Photoshop I could see the lines where it would be a page break, so I'd know to put a panel here and then make sure that a panel is not in the page break, and put it there. I can't find how to do that in Clip Studio Paint. But it has kind of the same functions. It can splice up a full like long vertical thing to post, and the select tool is so much better, so much more versatile than Affinity right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would say maybe look into that. Get an older version on. Go on eBay. You bet you can buy one for maybe $100, and that's all you would ever have to pay. You know what I mean? You'd have the software and then the product key, and then and that's it. And you won't have a subscription to pay either.
Everything costs money nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you go back, comics haven't evolved past CS3, so I mean, I think you could use it and be fine. But
even my scripting program that I use to write scripts is now migrated to an online monthly paid for platform. But because
Microsoft,
what's that?
Use Microsoft or
no? I actually use Celtex, CELTX.
Oh, okay.
And I backed them when they were like I think on like Indiegogo or something way back in the day, like very early on, where I received like the full plus.exe file.
Oh,
So
okay.
they can't take back that from me.
Yeah, I kind of went over
They could
to
shut down the
OpenWriter.
the auto upload and the auto synchronization, but I can always save directly to my desktop, to my cloud, backup, and then it's kind of the same thing. So
Yeah.
but still, like that's what everything is nowadays. Is like if you can make money from creating with it, they're going to take money from you for using it. 100%. And if you can find your way around that, you do that.
And don't tell anybody.
Don't tell everybody.
Right.
Well,
bells and whistles cost money is
yeah.
right here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
When I wanted to
I mean, Austin, you were a graphic designer before, right? So
yeah,
a lot of this stuff anyway. I mean, what it takes to, how expensive things are and whatnot.
yeah. Oh, I remember. So like I want something to be kind of like a Spotify store on my website. But there's nothing that's like for free or templated to do that. So what I plan on doing is just asking ChatGPT, hey, what's the code to make an online store and embed it into WordPress? And I'm going to see if that will work.
That could work.
If you're looking to make like an online store for free, that kind of thing, and you could try Ko-fi. That was one, Johnny, I don't know if you remember, we had that guy on, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, and he was showing us this shop that he had. Like I built one for
oh, that's right.
I built one for my website because like I have Weebly and Square, and they're trying to like charge you more for the hosting and just to have a store and all this crap. So I said, no.
I've got Big Cartel. It's a little bit like the same thing.
It kind of works like a Big Cartel, but it's not bad. It's this. Let me show you real quick.
While he's bringing that up, Austin, I used ChatGPT to deconstruct a Nintendo ROM, a game, like a digital version of a game, with the intent and the thought process to rebuild it into something that's like rebranded. So a modified version of the game, but with my characters, you know what I mean? I only got halfway through the process, but I think with what you're looking to do, you probably, with the right prompts, would be successful.
That's what I think.
Austin, this is the Ko-fi storefront.
Let me know. Let me know how that works out, though.
It you list whatever you want. It's free to list, and the only time they take money is if you sell something. You get like I think they get like a 5% or something like that. So it's free to list, and then you can. I don't know how they haven't. I've only put like 7 things on here, but they haven't limited anything yet. So like I haven't reached like a point where you got to pay to add more things to the store or anything like that. But it was free and it was really easy to do. So something to think about. It's like ko-fi.com, Ko-fi.com.
Yeah, I thought that was like a donation kind of website whenever I heard about it before in the past.
Well, it looks like it's both. Like people can, if I had more fans, I could turn it into kind of a Patreon kind of thing on top of having a store. So there is that option as well, but it's got a store option. So I just made a store out of it. And then I used the link and put it on my website. So whenever people go to the store on my website, it goes to Ko-fi instead.
It should be called Ko-pay because you make money and so does the website or whoever runs it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You make money and they get a percentage. It should be Ko-pay.
Well, it's free to list. You don't have to, you don't have to pay. Like that's the one thing I tried to avoid. I didn't want to pay for store.
Yeah, like I would rather have it be like, okay, we won't take any money from you unless you're making some sales, and then
that's what it is.
Over a certain percentage, right? Like, okay, you're making 10%. Like, we'll take 3 of that or 2 or whatever. Yeah, for sure. Now it looks like you're not live yet with the campaign. When's your launch date? Do you have anything set yet in stone? Or
April 1st, I launch.
Okay, perfect.
Like, are you going to really do it April 2nd? and like fool people, or are you really launching on April 1st?
Let me share the link. So if you guys are out
Like,
there,
fooled
definitely
you.
hit
Come
the,
back tomorrow.
hit the notify me on launch link and get added to the.
Yeah, we got that in the comments.
Yes,
right there.
yes. If anybody could sign up for that and just be there, be ready, that'd be great. I do have the redirect URL envy-comic.com, and that'll take you right to it. But I'll walk y'all through it real quick, and then we can talk about UFOs. I'm
perfect.
pumped to do that.
I've been
Yeah,
waiting.
walk us through it. Well, we got let's see if the other guest doesn't show up, we'll continue going on. But we'll
Do we have the other guest waiting yet or no?
Not yet. I think.
Okay, yes, we got time, Austin. Let's roll. Let's roll. With
Yeah, let's roll.
All right, so here's some of the interiors, and then you see the digital rewards. Next up is the regular comic physical with the PDF for 10. And I try to make all these discounted for the Kickstarter, specifically all these groupings that in each tier you get will be discounted just by 10, 15, 20%. Then I got the all digital catch-up, and then I've got the issue 3 by itself with all the digital catch-ups. All 3 of the physical rewards. Let me make sure. Yeah. And then, no, this is the variant. So when the variant comes out, I'll have that one up on that reward. And then it's the digital PDFs. And then this one is all 3 of the standard comics, physical, and the PDFs. This one will have all the variant issues.
The king. I like that.
So that is going to be very limited because I think I only have like 8 left of my issue number 1 variant. And I'm going to verify and count those because I know I should have at least 5, but I've got to make sure, and then I'll update if that goes down at all. But right now I think it's about 8, so that allows only for 8 people to pledge to this one.
Okay.
And then I've got stretched goals, so it is at a 750 funding. So at 1,000 I will send everybody the Baptism of Belial sticker. This is a glow in the dark sticker.
Oh, cool.
It's very nice. It's very durable. I get all these from Sticker Ninja. They're really good about quality of their stickers.
They're not
mine...
Sticker Mule.
No.
Which is a plus.
So I've put them on a lot of stuff, and they have not even been altered. They don't get those white edges and stuff like that. At the 1250, you will get the Pandemonium Gym starter guide, and that was going to be what the Kickstarter originally was going to be. Was just a introduction to the gym, using some of my characters. It was going to be Fritz primarily, but because I have added this Pandemonium Gym aspect day job for Envy, I'm going to use that as the employee beginner guide, and it's going to have Envy and Fritz going through it, kind of not meta because it'll be like canon,
right.
Sam's going to be showing Envy how to do all this stuff.
It's like an in-universe handbook if they were to work at the gym.
Right.
I love that. That's just, what that does is that pulls you in more into the universe as a reader, right? I love that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm very passionate about working out and being healthy, and I know my stuff. I've been in it for over 10 years. So the last one is the $1,500 mark, where you get a 8-page beginning of my Western Bigfoot comic, and this is the first page. It'll be just the digital PDF of the 8 pages, but I'm very excited about this. This one was actually drawn on manga paper and on the manga size. So I'm trying to experiment with that medium more, and it was much faster to draw it and ink it because the paper is so much smaller. And then it came out really well. But part of my heart is like really missing like having it be bigger and drawing getting into those details, because I want it to not be so detailed. I like making things a little bit more simplistic, but it feels like I'm missing something. But it might just be changing the medium.
You just get right. I was going to suggest you're probably just getting used to doing it in a different way, slightly, right? You kind of miss it the old way a little bit, you know. That was more like an old comfortable shoe, and this one you got to break in a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
No, do you think Bigfoot's an alien too, or?
Huh?
you think Bigfoot's an alien? I mean, that's a true. A lot of people think that.
Before we get into that,
we'll save that. We'll save it.
Austin, did you anything else you wanted to show on the campaign, or?
As far as the campaign goes, that's pretty much it. I've got some reviews from Gary, and Pocan, and I'm getting funded by I'm getting the discount for Comics Wellspring. So that's it.
That's great. Yeah.
If anyone else needs a discount, check the description of our video too. If it gets getting a percentage off your first order with Comics Wellspring.
I'm wondering if people would be interested in having an add-on shirt. So I'm wearing
I was going to ask about that.
Baptism of Belial shirt.
Very cool.
Nice.
I had those printed on Canva t-shirts. They're very comfortable, very durable too so far. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Harry, what was your alien question?
The question? Well, before we go, I mean, I like the shirt because I make my own t-shirts as well, you know, and I always hate it when people like put it in the center, you know. It should be up so you can see it, you know, in your chest, you know. So I like that. It's in a good position. So you've gone since, I think you were on the show maybe 8 months ago, the last time you were on. Have you gone to many conventions since then? And if yes, have you met any like strange people that have come to your desk that are way into the occult or no?
Unfortunately, no. None of them come to me, and I want them to.
One of these days, right?
Yeah, I had some people come up and they'll kind of dabble around it.
Yeah.
But I can tell they're not in it, you know.
Yeah. you know what you got to do is you got to find some like very like deep cut term that like somebody who's in like on the in would recognize, and you'd be like, just put it at your table at the convention and be like, this term, talk to me now. Or ask me how. Or
change my mind.
Change my mind. Yeah, exactly. And then that's where you'll get that. You got to kind of like, you know, provoke and invite. And then that way you'll also maybe somebody will ask you, well, hey, what's that all about?
Right.
And then you like invoke and spark their mind and their curiosity. And then next thing you know, you're at a convention and you're walking by a table and you go to their table to discuss that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's awesome. Now,
how are we looking on time, Keith?
We got to start wrapping it up. We have our third guest waiting for us. Why did you want to get into the UFO?
No. I just wanted to just do a time check, make sure we were okay. So, Austin, I was going to say before we let you go, and it's always been a pleasure having you on, man. Where can people find you? Do you want to just shout out social medias and go kind of key points for people to look out for you?
Yeah. So I'm on Substack at American Demon Comics, and Instagram at American Demon Comics, and you can find the Kickstarter at envy-comic.com. And that's pretty much. I'm on Blue Sky now too. So
okay, great.
And
I put the link to the to the Kickstarter launch page in the description of the video. So if you are watching this tomorrow, definitely go into the description, click that link, and get notified for this launch. And you'll have the back issues as well on this one as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So perfect. So if you want to get chapters 1 and 2, if you're new to the property, definitely do that as well. Harry, what were you going to say?
I said, and also with that cool T-shirt and that headgear, you're also already in the running for the our award show at the end of the year. So, our potential award show.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
It'd be a great.
We don't even have
that sounds great for me.
Right.
Yeah, you're like, what do I get? Like, we'll send you a paper certificate.
You could get the first.
You go to this link to print it out,
wheels,
though, right?
stickers.
Yeah, stickers or a link to
Harry statue
a certificate that you got to print out yourself. That's how cheap we are over here. But anyways, yeah, Austin, great to see you as always. Johnny, you look like you got something to say.
No, I was just gonna reiterate exactly what you're saying right now, Keith. It's just so awesome to have you back on, man. Thank you for taking the time, sharing your work with us, and good luck when the campaign launches. And we'd love to have you back for the future.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
I love
Hit
you
me
guys.
up. The few months ahead. What were you gonna say, Austin? I'm sorry.
Y'all do so much to help support me. I know like a few of you backed. It was like I was doing the thank yous on Instagram, and it was like Indie Comics Relay, Indie Comics Relay, Indie Comics Relay. I was like, oh wow.
I think if I remember correctly, I think you even put a personalized note when I opened up the actual reward when I received it. So I appreciate that.
Yep.
I snap photos of all of those, and someday I'm just going to tweet and blue sky like all those thank you notes. And I'm 99% sure yours is in there too.
That's awesome. All right. Yeah. Austin, definitely hit us up when you got a new project. Try to get us 3 months out or whatever, so we can get you in. And always great to see you. Maybe next time we'll figure out if Bigfoot was an alien. Harry wants to know. Harry wants to know
the mystery for now.
Yeah, right. Sidetrack that right
One of the theories.
Yeah,
one of the theories.
All right. Well,
thank
thank
you
you so
guys.
much, Austin, and best of luck with the campaign. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you next
Nice
time.
seeing you again.
Have a
Good
great
luck.
night. All right. Bye. Great guy. I love that kid.
So
Love that
awesome.
guy. Yeah, I swear to God, the last time we was on, we talked about aliens or some shit. I'm
No, I'm pretty
That's
sure.
gonna
I
be
do
one
remember
of the
that.
things I do tomorrow. Is I'm gonna edit that last episode. And I'm gonna look for that. I bet there's some good stuff in there. But anyways,
for sure.
Another new guest tonight. Our third guest. We're running a little behind. And I think he's got his own imprint that he does, and it looks like he is doing he's another one that's got a Kickstarter launch page ready to go. I think he's doing a kids comic or a kids book or something like that, and he was looking to come on the show and get some eyeballs on the project. So without further ado, let's bring in tonight's third guest, which is DeWayne Dority. Is that how you say it, DeWayne?
It's Dority. Can you guys hear me?
Dority. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How's it going? Welcome to the show, DeWayne.
Thank you guys for having me. I know it's late, but I appreciate you guys giving me the
Yeah,
time.
no, thank you for coming on the show
man.
so late. The show has gotten so popular that we used to just have one guest, and we'd have like or sometimes we'd have 2 or 3 in the same room, and it just got too hard to kind of highlight one creator's project over others. So we decided to just break it down like a talk show where we have, each segment is a new guest kind of thing. That way we can devote our full attention to you and, that kind of thing. So since you are a brand new guest to the show, we always love the origin story of our creators. And we love to know what comic, cartoon, TV show that you grew up with that kind of put in your mind like, hey, I can make comics too. Is there one that you can kind of point to that you
Instantly? Techno Man. It was
Techno
on UPN.
Man. Okay.
Yeah, Techno Man. I love it when Slade said Techno Powered. He did that intro. The English version of the intro was near dear to my heart. I love that. That was because my dad had stuff on VHS, so that was how I watched Bump in the Night. I watched King Arthur. I watched other shows that he had from the 90s and 80s. It was pretty cool. And Techno Man was the thing that just got me into wanting to draw and stuff. Because I love Power Rangers. So Power Rangers was like my first love. I always wanted to be the Green Ranger. My first toy was the White Ranger Megazord. So, and then right after that, the first time watching Goku versus Frieza, I recorded it on VHS, and that's what started me into getting into art.
Nice, man. That's awesome. That's great.
So animation's mostly been the thing that's got me into my creative side.
That's very cool.
Nice. Techno Man had that giant lance, right?
Yeah, that giant white lance he could use as a sword. He could use it as like a mace. He could return it back to him when he needed to. Use those giant lobster monsters.
I don't recall that one.
And we got DS saying, bro, Bump in the Night is so funny.
Yeah, Bumpy is a cool character. It was claymation, which was so cool. I never saw claymation before, and that was the first time I ever seen it, and it was awesome. It was my first step into seeing that. I thought that was a cool show, too. The actors were awesome in it. I liked it.
I'll have to look that one up. I'm not terribly
I'm not familiar with it.
Old 90s. I think I only had like 2 or 3 seasons. It's very early 90s. Yeah.
I'll have to look for that one and see what's up. We only had lame, claymation, like, was it Gumby?
Davy and Goliath.
Yeah, exactly.
We had Wallace and Gromit, but that was
Wallace and Gromit
import. Yeah.
I do. Speaking of that, I love the new movie too. Just on the side, but anyways, I'm sorry. What were you going to say, DeWayne? I didn't mean to step on you there.
Oh no, I was listening to you guys talk. You're good. I'm a guest. I'm listening. You guys take the show. Go right on ahead.
So now show, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and then after that, I started getting into art. And then, I graduated high school. I went to an HBCU. I'm Cherokee, so I went from being a Cherokee to being into all black college. And then, I played football there. I was the first in my family to go to college and play football, so I was pretty proud of that.
What position, and did you ever get hurt?
I played center and guard and never got hurt.
Oh, good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So my knees are still good. My hands work. Everything's work. Except missing teeth. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But other than that, and then I moved to Oklahoma, and, I was going to get married the first time. That relationship didn't work out. I met my current wife, and she was pregnant in the hospital, and the doctor said she wasn't, we might have to get, our son is going to have to be terminated, and my wife fought for that. And so, when I was able to name my son, I just focused on making, stories for him when he was born. And Blood Sable was the first character I made for him. And I was so thankful it funded on Kickstarter. And my son is just the big motivator for me to make comics, because I dropped art a long time ago. And then when my son was born, I picked it back up. So I've been back into art for like the past 6 years now, and I'm just getting better and just putting out the stories that I enjoy writing and stuff. And Shape Master is my first kid's book. I did it while my son was just in 2019 when he was a little kid. So I just wanted to jump into kids' books and see how I would do there, see if people would like that, because I love making original comics for my Wake comic stories and my characters. So I just want to see if I can dip in that too, if people like that. Because I have an alien book, a kid's alien book too.
Oh, cool.
So, Shape Master, so Shape Master does great.
Kevin and Bob, right?
Kevin and Bob, yeah.
Right, yeah. I thought that I did. So you're the whole Shape Master story is for your son, right? Because he's a fan of Dr. Seuss. I think you were saying.
And my son, he has autism, so Shape Master is a pretty simple book. It's very colorful. So I'll show you guys a couple of pages that I have on Kickstarter. So the pages are colorful. So when you have autism, the colors will catch them. So each page has like a certain color, like orange, blue, green. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, because my son loves rhyming. So, and oh my gosh, I can show you the concept stuff. So here's the concepts for that when I did Shape Master. Here's all the concepts.
Oh, cool.
And then here's my rhyming. Look at this. I had to sing rhyme everything.
That's awesome.
Those are the OG, real deal notes, man. That's the bones of the project.
Yeah, and then here's Shape Master when I first drew him, just on my little notepad. And of Dr. Seuss. My original cover was going to be the hat, but I decided to change it for the character because I want kids to know what the character is. Because if you see a hat, the kids won't know what the character is. And I want kids to be like, oh, I like that character. I want to read it. So this was like the original cover was going to look like that. And I have that's
cool.
that's what the proof looks like, but I've changed the covers.
Oh, very cool.
And my friend Keith from Wales, he decided to do the second cover, which was awesome. He's been a supporter of me since we met. He's done a bunch of cool artworks. He also did my cover for Liar that I plan to launch in October. So I have a couple books that I'm ready to launch, and I'm working on my Red Cloud Force for next year.
Oh,
and
that's
my Glow
awesome,
Stick story.
DeWayne.
So yeah, I've been writing and just drawing.
One thing I was going to say to back up about the autism thing, like I have a friend up here in Massachusetts who has a son that has autism, and he does a convention called CalmerCon. His name's Adam, and it's a sensory kind of aware convention, which is really cool. Like, so like, you know, there's like rooms off to the side if the kids get overwhelmed, and you know, like, but he has like handpicked like creators come to the show, and it's something maybe to look into. I know you said you're in Oklahoma, so it might be a little bit of a hike, but there is shows made for that, you know, where you can bring your son and things like that.
Yeah, because my son, his sensors are like, he loves plastic bags, he loves his books, and he loves cars. He has a million cars everywhere in his room, and he loves ducks. Like, that's what the idea for the ducks, you know, find their ducks. He has like about 50 of those dang things that I got out of a vending machine for him. So I spent a lot of cash to get those for him.
Oh, that's so great. There's some great comments coming in. DS said, I think Bump in the Night can be streamed on Tubi.
Yeah, sure.
Check that one out.
Amy said Davy and Goliath was awesome. Ben Soto. Hey, Ben. Good to see you, man. Where in Oklahoma are you from? He's asking.
My family actually originated from Arcoma and Spiro, so I know those two locations like the back of my hand. But I was born in Fort Smith. My family's from there, but Fort Smith is right across the street from Arcoma, so that's where my family grew up and stuff. So I know ththose towns like the back of my hand, and we go there because my wife has to get her medicine there. So it's always good to go and say, "Hey, I grew up here. I know this place."
Yeah, right.
Because she's from Tulsa, so. Yeah, it's different. She's used to the city life. I'm always a country boy through and through, so it's different for her.
Yeah, right on.
Blue Streak is saying CalmerCon is great. Brought my kids there. My youngest is autistic as well. So so that's great, you know. So
yeah, it's like, and when I do my work, I try to do it like at times where he's calm, because you know, trying to be an artist and try to work when he's, you know, having his fits or having his meltdowns, it's kind of hard. So usually I draw on my bed because I like to lay down and draw and stuff. And so since I got my Procreate, I'm thankful I'm able to get into digital now, so I can do a lot better, you know, show people that, you know, my stories have a lot to do with not just me, but the things that surround me. So my family has a lot to do with what I create, and I put all my passion and heart.
It's kind of been like the theme tonight too. I mean, everyone's family is kind of like part of their books, like our Sean.
Yeah, you're right.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, my son, I actually, whenever I did Shape Master, I showed him the artwork, and he loves it because the colors. I made sure when the colors he could draw his eyes, because autistic kids love the colors red and blue. So I tried to make the character have more red and blue in his, you know, design.
Oh, and I see the now that you say it, I see the Dr. Seuss influence there.
I was just going to say, the riff on Dr. Seuss. Can you kind of explain to the audience how you got there? Like, what kind of brought you to kind of making a little bit of a spoof or a satire on Dr. Seuss?
Yeah, my son, he loves Green Eggs and Ham. He loves that story. I could sit here and just see it, the read aloud on TV right now.
There he is, right?
Yeah, that's my son. He'd love to get on that fire truck. Yeah. But yeah, he loves Dr. Seuss, and I love the way Dr. Seuss's style is. So when I did Shape Master, I try to keep it kind of simple to that, you know, because I wanted my son to kind of, you know, recognize it was a book made by Dad, but it kind of had influences from other stories. I love the king. He was like the first design I ever made. That king was so cool.
It's great.
I even have the concept for him right here.
I mean, it has all the elements of a children's story, which is great. Like I can see it all.
Keith, can you make them big again?
Yeah.
It's just for the king concept.
Oh yeah, hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Very cool.
So I have a picture of the buff guy here as well.
Oh,
Like,
there it is.
Just landed on that one.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and there's it just
is it easy using Procreate to do this? I never use Procreate.
Yeah, it's easier. It's definitely a lot easier. And here's the moon too, right here. Here's the moon. I have the concept for the moon too.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I
that's
love
awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I
like the concept too of oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just being able to draw and Procreate it made me just a better artist because it helps me learn, shading and different steps I can take in doing my artworks. It kind of enhances, traditional stuff that I've done. So I'm very thankful for that. It just helps people enjoy my work even more. And when you go to the printer, it looks even better when you print them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I love that.
I like the idea of using shapes too, because whenever I teach kids, like I've helped, like my friends' kids and my niece and nephew, like they're drawing now too. Whenever I say, "Oh, draw me a cat," or "Draw me a this," like, "Oh, I can't draw." I'm like, "You can." I'm like, "Can you draw a circle? Can you draw a triangle? You can draw a cat." It's all it is. It's all shapes. Like the cat's head is a circle, and the eyes are ovals, and like the ears are triangles. So it's all shapes. If you break it down to simple like shapes, then you can draw anything almost.
Yeah, and with my son, he likes to do visual cues, so he'll point at stuff. So I know what he likes and what he enjoys. So whenever I read my stories, I actually read all my stories when I print them, like my kid's book. I'll read them to him, and if he sits there and he's calm and he looks at the book, I know I've done a good job because he's interacting with the book, and he's autistic, which is hard to do with autistic children, to get them to sit for a couple minutes to just focus on something. So when he was able, because the pink is another color that autistic kids enjoy, it lets them it's kind of like a calming color too. So that's why I kind of had the background for that too. So yeah, Shape Master, it's for any kid who just loves shapes, and just I try to make the characters as goofy as I could, and the characters inside the book as goofy as can be too.
Do you gear this towards autistic kids, like in different, like where they might read books, or in like a section for?
Yep, I actually have a few libraries reaching out to me that they want this book already. So
great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I have some people in my old town who want it too. Some military families also want this book for their kids as well. So I've done my due diligence to try to reach out to people who have kids, into libraries, into the Army people as well. And just let them know that I have a book if they have kids and want to read something that's it's just fun. It's just about shapes and about colors, and just my goofy rhyming scheme, because I'm not Dr. Seuss, but I tried my best to do.
Well, Dr. Seuss Dr. Seuss wasn't really a poet either. I mean, just like rhyme words that don't even aren't even words.
Fox and Sucks is his worst book. That thing don't make any sense at all.
Etrigan can do it. I think anyone can.
Right. For sure.
Yeah. It's just a short, simple little book. It was an idea I had cooked up, and I just wanted to do it, because I love doing all my comics for my original characters, and I just wanted to try to see if I could finish this one. And I'm proud every time I've been able to finish a project. It just lets me know, this is what I enjoy doing and what I just want to share with everyone. I just had fun drawing Shape Master, and I just want people to have it too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah. Any project
what are the other projects you've worked on? DeWayne?
Well, I think our previous guest, didn't you also write a demonic book too, or a demonic story? I think.
Liar.
Yeah, exactly. Liar. Right.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Another theme to the night.
Yeah.
Family and demons.
Yeah, well, Liar's
now
based
Bigfoot comes up again. We know.
We know. Wait a second.
But Kevin and Bob, here's Kevin and Bob right here.
Oh yeah, hang on. Yeah. Let me make you big so
I like aliens. That. Yeah, I have
that's cool.
Yeah. So Shape Master. Yeah, I'm just just trying different avenues to see what people enjoy. It's kind of helps me just understand what my audience is, because I want the audience to enjoy books, and I also enjoy their feedback and stuff. So I've reached out to people to see if they like the book as well, which is pretty awesome.
That's great, DeWayne.
But mostly people, my Crescent Blue story, it was awesome, and it was sad. It got funded, but 90% of the backers were bought, so I didn't get fully funded, but I made sure that everybody who backed it got their project. And then when Blood Sable did great, I made sure I did everything to the T, and I had a little extra money to get some proofs for my next book so I can showcase those to people. So anyone who backs my book is going to get what I promise, and that's what I stand on. I want to make sure my projects are done ahead of time, and people get them when I say they're going to get them, because I feel pride in that. When people back my books, I want them to know that they're backing someone who's legit and wants them.
Yeah, that's great.
When you were growing up as a kid, did you watch drawing shows too?
I watched Mr. Pappy's World.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that must be a regional thing.
Yeah, I think we had our own regional drawing guys too.
Yeah,
like
it was an old white guy who dressed up in a big old bow tie and overalls, and his name was Pappy, and he would draw. It was on
very similar to our Captain Bob up here in New England.
It was on OETA, the Oklahoma.
Happy sounds better though. I like that. Bow
Pappy
tie
was
and
cool.
the
He was a good old
suspenders.
country boy, and they had like clocks, and it was kind of like a Barney kind of style. They had the clocks talking, and the trees talking, and the mice talking. And stuff. So, and he would draw dinosaurs with just the Sharpie.
And did you draw along with them like every week? That there'd be like a new drawing or something?
Yeah, I would try. Yeah, I would try. I wish I had all the original drawings, because when I was at my dad's house, I had over 1,000 drawings of just me doodling up characters. And I wish I still had them.
Because I remember, when we had Channel 4 or 5 up here in New England, and every Saturday morning there's a guy named Captain Bob Cottle. And I remember
Captain Bob.
And it's called Drawing from Nature, and he would always draw like with crayons. Like he would draw like
that's right,
detailed animals like whales or birds or something, and he would encourage kids to follow along with them, draw along with them, and then every week they would send their drawings in, and he would display them on his on his board. But I would never want to draw with him because it was memorized by his drawings. I have to look at them and study them and record them, and I think there's only one video that exists right now of him drawing a cat. That's it. I can't find any other videos. Yeah, I can't find any other videos of him.
Yeah, and
it's so regional. That's probably why. No one in this region probably recorded it. And he was on super early, if I remember.
Yeah, and I woke up every Saturday morning.
Every Saturday morning, he was like
6:30
a.m. or something. Like it was crazy.
He had the old Sailor harmonica.
Yeah. Every week I was like, I'm gonna get up and draw, and then you wake up at 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm going to bed. I'd watch half an episode or something. But so funny.
And I also enjoyed Spawn. It was rated in for mature story, and so whenever I could see it at night, I would watch it. So
you said Dragon Ball Z too, as one of your favorites.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is awesome. Vegeta's the best. Period.
Nice.
I love Spawn was great too. I mean, Spawn was just such an awesome HBO series. Yeah,
that was
because
good.
it felt like the comic come to life.
Yeah,
and
it was
for
awesome.
Readers at that time, we didn't see much like that out there.
Yeah,
Keith David as the voice of Spawn, so perfect. Great stuff.
Yeah,
I love that. He's been everything, like gargoyles and
he's got the best voice.
I know, like amazing voice.
Yeah,
and he's amazing in Men at Work. If you've ever seen that movie,
They Live.
That's right. That's right.
They Live.
They Live. Yeah, he's great.
One of the best fight scenes.
Yeah,
exactly. It went on forever, right?
Yep. Austin said, "Family, demons, and Bigfoot, the Trinity." I gotta agree. And he says, "I gotta get to bed. Good night, everyone." Good to see you, Austin.
Take care, Austin. Thanks for watching.
But no, this looks fun, and I like that you're making a book that you don't see a lot of people making this kind of book for, I mean, maybe there's more out there. I just never see any comics and storybooks catered to like autistic kids and stuff. I think it's a great idea. And I think you'll get a lot of mileage out of this as well.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Because right now I only have Shape Master and Kevin and Bob as my kids' books, because those were the two I already had off the top of my head that I wanted to instantly make for my son, because, I love him a lot. He's my little man, and he's inspired me to do a lot. And I'm very thankful that, my art, I'm able to showcase that love back to him, because one day I'll be gone, but at least I'll have something to leave behind him that, showed my love for him. So I'm very thankful.
Great.
Yeah. And it's
something that he can be proud of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For sure.
Yeah. And the other thing, when he was Harry was asking me about what also got me into art, Jazza, when he started his YouTube channel, Jazza Draw with Jazza, I was watch his stuff to see how to draw concepts and stuff too. So YouTube, I've been using YouTube to, draw like a sir. He's another artist that I enjoy watching, how to make concepts and stuff of,
I mean, anything that gets you like motivated to draw is like a good show. I mean, I watched, Bob Ross, and the crazy German guy on PBS too, that before Bob Ross, and like there's a guy named Mark Kistler who like drew like cartoony sharks and things, like it's like whatever. Anytime I could watch someone draw for a half hour or whatever, I loved it because I don't care what it was. I just was always interested in different people's like styles and like ideas. And there's a place up here at Hampton Beach. I go there every I call it the Hamptons, but I go to Hampton. I go to the Hampton Beach, and there's a guy on the corner that used to draw caricatures, and I used to sit there for like an hour or so, an hour and a half, whatever.
The guy that draws Calvin pissing on like a Ford
well,
logo.
No, this guy is super like people would come to his booth and like they would sit there, and my interest level was like the first minute or two of like what characteristics does he capture from the person's face that he focuses on, and I would try to guess what it is. I'm like, oh, this guy has a big nose. I wonder if he's going to focus on that. Boom, big nose, or I
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool how he like thought about the caricatures, like what angle he was going to go for. This guy's a huge forehead, of course.
But it also goes to show that you had that same artistic eye.
Yeah, right. That's what I was trying to like reinforce, like validate myself. There
you go.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Well, that just shows you too. You're learning, and you're like, like trying to get into his head on what he's gonna do, and
right.
And now, it's always interesting to see what the other artist sees.
I wish I knew his name offhand, but he moved from that corner into the building next to that corner. He's like,
yeah, like I remember in Kubert school, like we had an assignment where we had to draw like a. They gave us like a Calvin and Hobbes strip, right? So they had usually the strips are 4 panels, so they left the 4th one blank. So each cartoonist had to come up with what the 4th panel would be and what the joke would be. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, everybody's going to have a similar joke because how many different variations of this could you do? Yet everybody in the class had something different. And I was like, wow, awesome. Like that opened my eye to like how everybody kind of sees things differently, like not just seeing it one way. So I agree. It's a really cool stuff.
And also, you don't know what art is, like if you think something that you draw is terrible, there's 20 other people that might think it's an awesome drawing. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, I had like, in my home room, we'd like, we'd like decorate our, like in middle school, we'd like decorate our doors for Christmas or whatever. And I randomly did a drawing of Santa Claus's head, drawn in the style of Sunblum, if you guys the artist's name, but like a portrait, a side view, 3/4, view of Santa Claus's head, and drew it. I'm like, nah, it's kind of good, but I kind of tore it down and I threw it away in the trash. And then some girl comes over, picks it. I see her out of the corner of my eye. She like picks it out of the trash and like unravels it, whatever. She's like, can I have this? I'm like, oh my god, like yes, like it's awesome, like I had no like, all right, whatever, it's awesome.
Well, it's just a byproduct of your creativity, Harry. It's like you carry a little self-doubt on your shoulders.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
So anyways,
you just don't know.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, go ahead, Johnny. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna ask, DeWayne, in terms of illustrating and kind of conceptualizing these characters, do you personally come across any challenges or things that you run into, things that you reflect upon in the creative process that you could share with other people out there who might struggle with the same?
Oh man, the storytelling is probably my favorite. And if people have, hard time struggling with it, you can rewrite your story. Usually when I do my stories, I like to go in, I like to visualize it, try to do it in Procreate, kind of have like a little sketch pad of it. And then if I don't like it, I just rewrite it and I'll just redraw what I don't like. And so I think sometimes, you're your biggest critic. And so, sometimes you need to be calmer with yourself and just draw what you think is the best for yourself. Just enjoy what you draw, because, if you put what you love into your story, people are going to love it too. And the thing I had, my Blood Sable book was reviewed. I know I got to work on my lettering. This is only my 3rd project, so I know I still got some stuff to work on. And so, and that's good. Good criticism is always good. To be a better artist, you need some, positive criticism. And that's what I enjoy, is that when I create my books, I don't mind if someone criticizes it and tells me, hey, you can do better here. And, you might need help over there. And I think sometimes artists, we kind of get prideful and we don't want to sometimes listen to that, extra feedback. And I think in order to grow as an artist, you need that extra feedback, because I know I criticize myself more than anyone because I want my stuff to be perfect in my way. And so I try not to do that as much now. So the less self-doubt you can give yourself, the better you'll be. And so, and it's helped me so far because, I'm already on page 8 of my Red Cloud Force book, and there's 24 pages. I'm literally 25% done already. So
Wow.
I'm already just grinding, and just, I'll go back over them. And if I don't like something, I'll just redraw it. And I think that's okay to, if you don't like something, redraw it, because it might turn out better the second time or the third time or the fourth time.
Do you draw traditionally first and then go to Procreate?
I used to do that. Sometimes I'll have like storyboards. I'll have this big black book I got from Arteza. So it's just a big old black blank canvas book. So I'll go in there with a pencil and I'll sketch it around, and you're like, okay, I want this, character to look like this, and he's coming through this door or stuff like that. And then there'll be sometimes I'll just go into Procreate and doodle it and say, okay, I like it how it's this way. So I'll do it like a 2-time take. And that's how I kind of do my process every time. If I don't like the first time, I'll try the second one and see how that works out.
Awesome. But yeah, we shared the link to your Kickstarter project in the comments.
I appreciate it.
If you are watching this
today too,
tomorrow, definitely check it out. The description will be in the video. Looks like you gotten already one pledge from the show, which is great.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me on too, because I know you guys said we're having some people come on, so I appreciate you guys fit me in the last.
Of course,
so
yeah, absolutely.
No, we're happy to have you on, man.
Yeah.
Any
so if you guys ever want me back, I don't mind coming back.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you have
absolutely.
New project, try to reach out to us like 3 or 4 months ahead. And
I got these 2 coming up. So
of course, talk about more about aliens. There's always room for alien talk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that's
true.
Yeah.
DeWayne, show those books off one more time, Keith. Can you make them big?
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be the next after Shape Master. We'll probably do Kevin and Bob, and Liar's definitely come out this year.
Liar looks pretty cool.
And my friend Carl took my original art and he did it in his own style. So he literally redrew my artwork in his.
Now, what's Liar about?
Liar's kind of my. I grew up in a broken home, like I said. My dad and mom weren't good parents, and so Liar's kind of like that character. That's like my anger. So, and he's a character that He feeds off your lies. He's a demon that he can sniff you out no matter where you are on this planet. And so the first 14 pages, you'll kind of see, like my original house I put in the book. I actually drew my father in the book, so people get to see that as well. So Liar definitely is a character that's not for the faint of heart. It's an R-rated story. I even have in the beginning of the book a warning page because there's a lot of blood and stuff in it. So I have a warning page.
Wow.
Just in case, so people, if they get it.
So that'll be on the opposite end of the kids section of the library.
100%.
It sounds like a very personal story to you, too.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, Liar's been a character. This will be the 3rd time doing Liar. The first time I tried him out, the project, it almost funded, didn't fund. I was down and out about that. So I put him on hiatus. Then someone wanted to do a collab with me on Liar, and that fell through. So I kind of got frustrated, and I thought I was going to hang him up. And so I sat and wrote 50 pages of what, my anger and frustration my whole life, and just put it into this story. And, it's awesome that Liar has actually become one of my favorite characters people enjoy.
Did that help you with your, overcoming?
Yeah, it's helped me to be able to write it. I think people, need to write, their frustrations out on the page. If you got something that it's boiling inside you. And so, the first 14 pages,
I put way to channel those feelings for sure.
Yeah. So
therapeutic.
Yeah. And so the first 14 pages are just, Liar getting back at, that old man. And then it's pretty much like a monster battle book. You get to meet some new characters in there, some characters for the future as well. So kind of like a Marvel-esque type of, here's little crumbs for later on.
Nice. That's great. DeWayne, any other links, like social media links you want to share with the audience as we start to wrap up here?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Ride a Show. It's my wife and son's name put together, so it's kind of hard. But it's at Ride a Show on Instagram, and you can follow my IG at Wakeverse. I'm also got my Wake Comics on Facebook, and you can find me on YouTube at Ride a Show. And I'm talking to mix them right now, so people, whenever I'm able to have the publications, gone through approval, they can buy them. I'll mix them, so I plan to get that up as well. So people can buy my Crescent Blue and Blood Sable books, the ones that are in the Kickstarter if they just want to get those individually. So I'll probably have that this week.
Awesome. Cool. And I mentioned earlier to someone else, Ko-fi.com, fi.com. You can make your own online store there where you can sell it directly to people, and it doesn't cost anything until you sell it. Once you sell it, they take like 5% or something.
And Mixum has been awesome. Like my second cover to Liar, it came in all jankety and busted, and they sent me 2 extra copies because they've been very awesome with me.
That's cool.
I talked to the owner of Mixum, and they've been very nice, and they sent me some extra copies. So it was very cool of them.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
All right. Well, DeWayne, it was great to meet you, and thank you for coming on the show. And we wish you the best of luck with Shape Master, and I like what you're doing. So hopefully, what's my wife's asking?
Yeah, Amy's just
what's
got a quick question.
Spelling of that Instagram name?
It is RYDESCHO.
Okay, perfect. Amy, hopefully you got that. If not, you can hit the replay.
Yeah.
I'm already.
But yeah,
DeWayne,
DeWayne,
guys,
thank
so
you.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Right
thank you so much for coming on, and we appreciate you joining us and spreading your project out there. And like I said, I wish you the best of luck with this thing, and I will hope to see more from you.
Oh, you will. Thank you guys for having me. You've been awesome.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
DeWayne.
Have a good night.
Have a great night.
Looking forward
and,
to having you back.
We'll talk
Thanks,
to you
guys.
soon. All right.
All right. See you later.
See ya. Bye. That was great. Packed show tonight, huh, fellas?
Every guest tonight was just awesome. So great.
Yeah.
And
So
like you said,
hopefully-
Harry, there was a theme there with family, right?
Very,
Like,
very,
yeah,
very
right.
different. Very different, yet the same. Like
Yeah.
families.
Everybody
really-
mentioned their kids.
Yep, that's good.
Everybody had kids tonight, which I was like that. That was one unifying factor. A lot of similarities.
We either have kids or we're kids from parents.
That could be a fun thing when we have
from a
3
Cabbage
guests.
Patch.
We have 3 guests trying to figure out what the theme of the evening is.
Oh
you
my!
know?
Yeah.
That reminds me. We should do like a night of baby pictures of all 3 of us and see who. I think I was the biggest baby ever.
I was
I'm
a
like,
cute baby, but
holy crap! I bet you I could have crushed you as a baby. I was ginormous. I felt like
oh, you were ginormous.
holy! I don't know how my mother survived it. The birth. Like holy crap! I gotta find a picture. I look like the like the Michelin Man. Like
Ah,
The Michelin
oh my
Man.
god! I was huge. I gotta find a picture.
Like the Korean smoking baby with the really fat arms.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, that kid was skinny compared to me.
That kid's my hero.
That's
I gotta
great.
find a
Kid's
picture.
got emphysema, but he's
Yeah.
my hero.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I like the idea we were talking about earlier in the show about having some kind of awards thing.
That would be fun.
It would be fun. Like you know what? Behind the scenes, I think we'll have to figure out some categories,
Yeah.
and also we'll have
Legitimate
to,
awards.
I'm for that. I think it'd be cool. But I guess we would have to find a way to so like if we did something like best indie comic, right? How do we decide that? There's a million indie comics. So we'd have and most of them we probably didn't read.
Mhm.
I would say we'd probably have to find a way to make sure that try to either keep it to ones that have been on the show or something like that.
Well, yeah, right. I think
We should
we-
assemble a panel that does read all the comics. We compile all the nominations. Just like the the Oscars. There's a panel of people that
I
compile
see.
everything. They read everything and then they judge.
Like we start our own Screen Actors Guild kind of thing.
Right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could also make it-
exactly.
We could also make it personal. I mean, we interview many people during the course of the year. We
I
can
think
have our
that's
favorite.
how we'd have to do it is because
Yeah.
we'd have to keep
That way
it,
it's unbiased.
Mhm.
yeah, we'd have to keep it to within the show, I think, in order to because say we pick the best comic of the year or whatever, and then everyone's like, why didn't you pick this one? This one's on the
Mhm.
top 10 list or whatever, but we would have to set up those parameters and then kind of come up with our own categories, I guess. And then
Yeah.
maybe we'd have an audience portion of it. We could put out polls. We could,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think
I
one
like
of the
the idea.
categories should be best viewer.
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
The person who interacts the most, and like that would have been Harry before Harry became a co-host.
Right.
Yeah, Harry was great. Like I was editing an old episode today for ICR Bits. It was just me and Johnny. This was Johnny, I don't know if you remember this one. We had Dirk Manning on.
Oh,
Dirk,
yeah.
And Dirk
was he doing the Arn Anderson book?
No, it was the Tony Schiavone book.
Oh, the Tony Schiavone one. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And Harry was in the audience, and the subject of Ric Flair came up, and then they were kind of alluding to some story that was in the book but they wouldn't talk about it, and Harry just wrote something like I met Ric Flair and I shook his hand. Should I be concerned? And that killed everybody on the show.
Right.
So it's pretty funny. So I definitely
fucking great.
It's so funny the moments you find in these old live streams.
That's good. That's you made a bit out of that, I hope, right?
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of AEW talk and stuff, and we talked about that book a lot. So there's going to be about 3 or 4 bits coming out of that episode alone.
Cool.
But yeah, no, I'm any episode that we have, I kind of try to keep a bookmark in my head that there was something good in that one,
Yeah, you can mine it for stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because I want to keep the bits going, because it's such an easy edit and an easy way to make content, And plus new fans, like fans we picked up in the last year or two, probably aren't going back and watching our live streams, so we might as well just pick out good moments from them,
Yeah, and if they see a bit they like, they can then go back and watch a full episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And those are usually drop on Friday night. I drop a new episode,
and it's kind of a cool way to do like a yearly review of people we've talked to, and things we've talked about, different topics.
Yeah, I try to mix them up. I try to do one from this guy, one from that guy, especially if I have multiple ones, so. But the other thing I want to talk about too, like with the roundtable thing, if we do another writers one, which I think would be kind of fun, I was thinking of doing, instead of just regular writing questions, maybe like fun writing questions, like to give you an example, I was kind of toying around today and see what you guys think. Like questions like, like what's the most bizarre place you ever jotted down a story idea, and did it actually make it into one of your books? Like weird things like that.
Yeah.
Like what's like what's an indie comic trend that you're sick of seeing, and and just kind of fun and different, I guess, without just how do you come up with a world?
Yeah, something more unique. Yeah.
Let me see. I wrote a bunch down, and not all of them are going to make the cut, but I was just, here's one I wrote. What's one question you hope a fan never asks you about your comic? And how do you hope to dodge that?
And then I
feel like we could come up with some funny shit, What'd you say, Harry?
And then I asked that question, right after they, when you asked. This reminds me, when I met Bob Eubanks, at a convention recently, maybe last year sometime, and I'm like, and all these questions remind me of that one question he asked on the show, where's the weirdest place you made whoopee? Yeah. And then the girl answers, the butt. But he finished what I was gonna say. I was like, the butt. I'm like, yeah, that one. Like you guys crossed that out. You guys got rid of that, right? For the TV show, we had to, but it's somewhere on some DVD, and he almost got sued by the woman's mother, for don't air that, Yeah, so I wish I had that
rat joke, the back of a Volkswagen. It's great. But yeah, no, what do you think about that, Johnny? You like weird questions like that for?
Oh yeah, I think that would be great because, like I said, it keeps it fresh and interesting, and then you can have people recount stories that led them to these to these scenarios or these whatever, you know what I mean? And then that in and of itself can become a bit.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah, I think they'd be kind of funny, like to just talk about it, like like I bet we get some funny answers out of that whole thing.
We'd have to get people who weren't stuck up in the sense of not, be willing to share stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all for it. I would
Yeah.
definitely I would definitely go for it. I know you would. I'm guessing George and Nandor would be up to it. Probably Tony.
I'm sure everybody would.
Yeah. So
it's the same crew again, pretty much. Are you thinking?
I was thinking the same crew because we did have good numbers viewing wise that night and a lot of those guys have some good fans, and I think all of them have projects coming up. Although I don't know about George. I haven't seen. Have you heard from George at all lately, Johnny?
I've talked to George. I confirmed that he is going to be joining me once again in New York.
Oh, sweet.
New York Comic-Con. So, yep.
I've been meaning to message him, too, to see if he's going to come up for Plastic City, because I'm actually getting close to... I'll probably be sold out of tables within the next month, the way it's heading. Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty solid. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So... But yeah, no, all right. That sounds good to me then. If you guys like that idea, let me propose it to those three guys and see what they think. And I'll come up with like 10 questions or something. Cause I feel like these questions might be quicker than the last one. Cause the last one we did was a little more intense and a little more.
Well, cause there's detail and everybody has their own process and that kind of turns into a longer
and this was more like just fun stuff, like fun questions.
These are situational answers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but all right, that sounds good. All right, well, I'm good for this week. If you guys are all set, did you have anything you wanted to shout out or promote or anything,
Harry?
Nothing really important. I mean, I have like a pictures to show of my house that was destroyed, and what else?
You have those ready to go?
Do I? Hold on. Yeah, I think I do. It's in one of my tabs. All right, I'll do a share here. I always forget how to do this. Entire screen.
Took out your
pretty much
patio.
Yeah, a deck that I spent $7,000. Oh, what's going on here?
Whoa, what level of inception are we?
What happened? Can we see this?
Oh no!
So anyway, this is my living room.
Can you zoom in at all? Can you zoom in at all?
Yeah, you can. Down below.
Down below.
The plus sign.
Oh, okay, here we go. So here's my living room looking out.
Oh my god!
But then hold on. Is there? Here we go. So here's just me looking up at the screen door. There's a tree that fell, but you can see is bent this way. So it should have fallen. Should have fallen this way. But it fell this way because of the crazy wind. Damn. So there's that. There's more debris. Here's the side of the thing, but over here you can see, here's the top. This is the corner of my house right here, and my deck where it was, and the tree it missed it. Like
it just missed your house, dude.
Right over here.
You were unlucky, but also very lucky.
What's the guy? Look at over here is my if you see if I can zoom in here. Over here is my AC right here. My so it missed it.
The compressor.
It missed it, but it missed it by inches. So, and I don't think I have homeowners insurance, but for the outside, not the inside of the house. So I could have been really,
screwed.
They're going to cover it, right? They're not going to.
I certainly hope so because I spent $7,000 because when we bought the place, it came with a wooden deck, but they wanted us to redo it because it was made of wood. They want us to replace the wood with like a weatherproof material. I forget what it's called, but
I know what you're talking about.
So I spent $7,000. We all had to spend $7,000 redoing our decks, and that was 2 years ago. And then now it's gone within like a So
damn, that's
dude.
Great.
And I just want to show real quick. I did this logo last week. This is what I was working on over the weekend. I don't know if you can see this. If it opens up here. The police logo for.
Oh yeah, I remember you were working on that. Came out good.
Looks great.
Yep. So this is where the town where I met Johnny Pesky, the guy that I almost killed.
Yes.
And then
the culprit.
Yeah, my little niece drew this just randomly. I was like sitting here.
That's
like
adorable.
She loves little fairies, and it's like little wings here.
That came out good for a little kid.
I thought it was an amazing. She's like 5 years old, and I'm like, that's amazing, like so
for sure.
Yeah,
that's great.
Had to keep that. Oh, and a long time ago, Johnny was asking me about what Toothy was. So I was doing a kids book back in the day for my friends. They're doing so it's about my friend's son was had a loose tooth, and he was like all worried about it. So he's like telling his mom, and then
that's cool.
Oh wait, I'm in a different world now. I don't know if I can.
You're in the Inception level.
Oh yeah. So here, so looking at the tooth.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
And then there's a family eating, and his tooth falls out during dinner, and he's like all worried about it. There's the tooth fairy. I mean, I just gonna, this is like way back in the day. He's like, he gets scared, he runs to his room, and then here comes Toothy. And basically, what Toothy is, my friend she sewed together a giant tooth with a little pouch in the back, and you put your tooth in it, and the next day you get money. So
there you go.
Oh, here's my. This is my favorite Doctor Who.
Oh, the Doctor Who. That's the old school. That's the old school TARDIS interface, dude.
That's from the movie, the Doctor Who 1999 movie.
Nice.
But these are all three guys that play the Doctor. This is the Doctor from the movie. Paul McGann. Right. And
that was the U.S. Fox broadcast movie they had,
exactly,
right?
Which was like dumb because it was like produced by the U.S. It wasn't like a British movie. But so when I met these guys in New Jersey at a con, and we're all kind of standing in front here. I'm like, what are we doing here? We're all standing like in front of the console. Like, how about I push this button and pretend that it's the wrong button, and you guys are like, no. So I told each person where to stand, and they all like did their thing. It's like awesome. Like probably my favorite like dorky, geeky sci-fi picture ever. That I would take.
I love that.
Oh, and he's got the sonic screwdriver.
Which one? Oh, this guy. Yeah, that's his personal sonic screwdriver. It's kind of cool. Like it's like
that's awesome.
It's awesome to be in a photo with like these like original, OG doctors.
The doctors, yeah, that's dope.
And then I have two more pictures I'm going to show you because this is like Tom Welling after he got before he got.
There you go.
Huge. He's like a giant. He's like
pretty big. Yeah.
And then of course the greatest Lex Luthor of all time, and which reminds, R.I.P. Gene Hackman.
Oh, R.I.P. Gene Hackman.
Yeah. We gotta get to the bottom of what happened to him.
Yeah.
We need a toxicology report.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't seldom tweet out about celebrities, but I did tweet out about that because he was the best Lex Luthor.
Who Gene
Hackman, yeah.
I would have to go.
You go with Rosenbaum?
I have to, because he's like he made it. Yeah, Gene Hackman was kind of like
Gene Hackman had the more fun Lex Luthor,
right?
Like a little more like Silver Age version, I guess, like the more where he's like jokey with him and Otis.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
And them two together, him and Ned Beatty together,
awesome,
like a comedy duo. So good.
Like John Cryer couldn't hold a candle in part 4.
Oh yeah. That scene where he's like Otisburg. It's just a little country. Otisburg, like he just gets so mad about it.
Yeah,
that stuff was great.
Like, so I guess each Lex was like awesome for what they. I mean, like that was more
the time too, like the time that came out.
Right, kind of a fun Lex, But and then like Kevin Spacey's Lex was like a combination between his Lex and then like Rosenbaum's Lex. Like he was hokey like that, and then like kind of dark, but whatever.
I didn't like the one on the new. The Adventures of Superman and Lois. I didn't like the dude from Walking Dead as Lex.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Michael like I don't want like a biker guy. Like he looked like a biker gang member.
I know.
He was militant.
What a weird.
Yeah, he's like a militant.
Terrible.
Didn't gel.
Like the actor, but I thought very misplaced in that show.
I think
they just tried something new and different, and it didn't work. Sorry, Harry.
Right. And the same thing with the Jesse Eisenberg one.
Yeah,
I like the
I don't know who's
thought
worse.
behind that one. Like, making Lex like a tech bro was kind of smart, but just having him like so wimpy just wasn't like, I don't know, didn't work for me.
Agreed. Yeah, I agree with you.
He's gonna have him. Yeah, I don't know.
Wasn't the best, but
it's so weird.
Quick thing before Gene.
No, go ahead.
Someone asked me about Gene Hackman. Top 3 movies Gene Hackman are your favorite? Do you have them?
Well, the 3 that the Hoosiers. What else?
Never seen
one?
Hoosiers.
Oh,
it's one of the ones in
Unforgiven.
Like history.
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven's really good. I put Royal Tenenbaums, the French Connection movies. I love those. And then of course Superman 1 and 2. I don't count 4.
It's just so bizarre, like his ending, because like I remember a year ago on Facebook they would show Gene Hackman getting a coffee or something at like leaving like a coffee shop, and it just and it shows you how old he was and how fragile he looked, whatever. And then for a year they kept like periodically showing Gene Hackman, and all of a sudden he's 95 years old and he dies of like weird like not of. I mean, when I first saw that he died of old, died. I'm like, oh, he's 95 years old. Of course he died. He was 95, but he died, and then his wife died, who's like 64. Then the dog died. Like something's weird here, And then they kind of reported it. They reported it normally, as if I guess.
But it's also one of their dogs. There was other dogs too, I guess.
Well, I think there was 2 dogs, and then one died, one didn't. So I mean, maybe
so it's weird.
I think we should question that. We should question that second dog. Find out where it was.
Yeah, right. Let's find out what he was doing.
Right. Where were you at the time? I'm no expert.
That's great.
I don't know.
But
there's definitely more to that story than.
I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up then.
All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us as always. We are going to be live next Monday, and then we're back after that to our normal bi-weekly schedule, and hopefully
next week we
will stick
an
to
hour
it
sooner,
unless something
back
unbelievable happens, But we're going to try to
back
stick
an hour
to that.
sooner next week.
Yeah,
that'll be down the road. I think that's April or something. So
no, isn't next week?
What's that? The starting early?
Daylight savings.
Oh, let me see. No, that's not happening until April 7th.
Oh wow, I thought it was next week.
No, we had talked about like when to do it, and you said like, oh, we'll do like an hour before the show, but we're gonna do that on April 7th. I think that's the date we agreed to with.
Okay,
the guys,
got you.
But we do have next week is Brandon Blocksdorf's return to the show, so that'll be fun.
Right in time for IC3.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, I'm sure, and then catch up with him. And I think he has a new crowdfunding going, so we'll talk about all that. So
cool. I actually chatted with him a little bit on Instagram over the weekend.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah.
Did you watch? I watched. Quick aside, I watched the episode we did for Inspired Inc.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The funniest part is us grinding the show to a halt to talk about the Shirley Temple 7-Up.
Yeah. So he made me promise him to bring him one. So I'm going to bring him one to the
show. It's so funny. Oh, God. But yeah, so Brandon will be with us next Monday. So
awesome.
But all right, everybody. Thank you as always for tuning in. We appreciate you here.
Big thank you to all the guests.
Yep. Share it out. Check the description below for all the Kickstarter links from tonight's show.
Back those campaigns.
And most importantly, everybody, read some comics. And good night, and we'll see you next Monday night. So, all right, good night, everybody.
Be excellent to one another.